But if you have to Google what the fuck's just happened in your scene, it's a failure.
Yeah.
And the fact that they had the voice of Blade, and you don't see Blade in a movie, in a talkie, is just complete garbage.
Right, look, right, MCU, they're still getting used to the talkies, Liam.
Yeah.
They've not gotten their head around the format yet.
Yeah. There's still a guy at the front of each Marvel film prior to probably the Phase 4 that still plays the piano.
Yeah, and to be fair, the guy on this in our screening played some sweet piano.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch I, Tonya than this. I say that, I, Tonya's very good. So,
Yeah. I'd rather watch any good film than
Yes.
this. Yeah.
What a hot take, though.
I would rather watch any film than this.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's better than Iron Man 2.
No,
Oh,
I think this might be one of the worst
hot
movies.
takes left, right, and centre.
This might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
I'd still say it's better than Iron Man 2.
I've just watched it all the way through, and I was saying this yesterday. Iron Man 2 and Thor: Dark Worlds, as much as I like, especially not in my MCU standards, they're not great movies. I can sit and watch and enjoy them. I don't sit there. I'm not saying this was a chore. I turned to you literally 10 minutes in.
You did.
I was like, this is a chore.
I
The
mean-
dialogue at that beginning of that.
I think even for me, it started before there was any dialogue. The fact that there was a text scrawl at the beginning.
Right, no,
is,
but even the
That started with in the beginning.
Oh my God.
even the text.
That's what I said. There's only 6 people in the cinema.
Yep.
And I audibly had to go, oh my fucking God. And I just turned,
But
I crossed my legs and turned
even the
away from the
editing,
screen.
even the editing of that writing, there was nothing to it. It was literally like some students had done their own.
Yeah.
It was like a student. The first few, admittedly, it got more and more into like a movie, I guess, in CGI, and I think they went great, but like stuff that you wouldn't be able to do at college. But I swear to God, that first 10 minutes, you could have done that in college, and it was that vibe, the dialogue, the way it was being acted.
I mean,
Some of the
Could have
lines
done-
in
no,
it, the expedition explanation, like could have just throughout the movie, where literally they were literally saying
I'd
the
say-
dialogue was the scene, like the guy came out and did this and did. I'm like, I just watched that happen.
yeah, no, the dialogue's very bad, but like I thought it looked good.
Yeah.
Like the cinematography is good.
Yeah, for you to be like,
Well,
they
that-
could have made this at a college is
No, the first bit.
is
That's what I mean. It
being
becomes-
we're gonna get pretty vindictive, but is getting a little bit too simplistic.
I mean, a very posh.
no,
college.
the first part of the movie before the demon attacks.
Oh, when they're in the I tell you what that reminded me of when they're in the ship and like Sam Hayek's like, "It is time."
Oh, not that bit, but
Oh,
yeah,
God,
yeah.
when she
That's
said
good.
that,
That's
that-
good. That's
Oh,
well.
I don't remember the stuff before that. But basically, that
I'll be
bit.
telling you in a second.
Okay. Right, that bit. You know what it reminded me of? In Bill and Ted when they go into the future, that's like been shaped by them, and they're in like that sort of like that, and like there's people like strumming guitars and stuff, like be excellent to each other.
Be
It looked like that.
excellent to each other.
Yeah.
So the text crawl to start off with
Yeah, remember the text.
is kind of odd because if you use a text crawl or you have text before a film, usually it'll
Have some sort of animation to it.
no. So there are good films that use this, and I'm not gonna. Star Wars has its own style,
Yeah.
but things like Blade Runner has it a certain cut.
Oh.
That doesn't. I don't think it necessarily.
Oh no, yeah, there is.
I don't think it necessarily is a bad thing in that.
No.
There's a time and a place. But this one, I was just reading it, and I was just like, these jumble of words,
Yeah.
don't help.
Because also, it's not like they just explain it to you in that scroll and then that's it. We're off to the
You're- yeah.
races. You got to catch
No.
up. They're going to explain it to you
Over and
more.
over again.
Yeah.
And for having that, and again, like you said, they had in the beginning. We're gonna get to it, right? But there's so many cliches in this film that it rivals. I want to say, was it Shang-Chi, or what was the other
Hey.
film that had loads of cliches in it that we were talking about? We reviewed
I
it.
don't know if it was that cliche.
Venom.
Because
Venom.
Venom.
I mean,
Or what's the...
this film taught me that revenge won't bring you peace, but killing him might.
Oh my god.
But
But the truth will set them free.
yeah. Oh shit, they do say
can't
that.
And also...
She
and-
literally signs
Yeah.
the truth will set them free.
Also, there's
The sentence. the truth
there's
will
several
set them
moments
free.
where they refer to themselves as family or whatever, and every time they did, I was like, "Don't invoke Vin Diesel. He's trademarked family."
Don't you dare speak those words. Don't bring him into this.
But,
I don't need another collision of franchises like the one we're about to have.
But, like,
Spider-Man.
I feel like from now on, just any action franchise, you're not allowed to use the word family. All right.
Barred from the word family.
I'm not like a Fast and Furious fan. I just feel like they have, that's very much their thing, and it always just feels disingenuous when you're like, "Oh, what's the film about?" Family.
But that bit, so you're saying about the text and the off to the races sort of aspect to it, like I swear to God, the last sentence of that text is, they very much follow blah 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 blah, blah this atrium until
Say that
something.
again?
They basically atrium, and what's the god
Celestial.
called? What's
The
he
Celestial
called?
who, like-
Yeah, that celestial guy.
Atrium.
Anshrim.
Oh,
Anyway,
let's
whatever his
stop
name.
caring.
Let's call him Greg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
him.
The celestial that sends them to Earth. Well, he's just going to be called Greg for this.
Greg, yeah, Greg. They worship him until a mission led by Ajax, and it very much like ... And it was like, okay. And I was literally expecting to go into an action scene, and it was just them waking up and then
Slow
arriving.
paced.
It's really slow and
Like it was the beginning of Alien.
Yeah.
Where they wake up from their cryo sleep.
Yeah.
Or whatever this eternal sleep would be. You know,
Yeah.
just
Or-
just the awakening.
Yeah. But none of that sort of like, "Oh, I feel awful. You look awful." None of that banter. Just
No banter, because they're just
hello.
beings. They're
Yeah.
just like fucking robots,
Yeah.
and they reference themselves as such
Yeah.
almost halfway through the movie. And
Yeah.
here's one bit of dialogue which I just laughed. I think you did too, Joe. I wasn't sitting next to you, Sam.
I'm not proud of how often I laughed quite loudly during this.
Especially when a child gets fucking hit in the head with a rock.
No regrets about that.
That's
Best
like-
moment in the film.
That was the most justified laugh in the whole thing.
No,
Yeah.
so the dialogue I'm talking about is you have Cersei and Icarus, and Cersei goes up to the viewing window.
Yeah.
And she says, "Beautiful, isn't it?" And without a beat, without even a second of like, like the cogs turning, Richard Madden just turns like the fucking Terminator and just goes, "My name is Icarus." No emotion. I know that they're trying to set them up like they don't really have emotion at this point. I mean, why would you care about characters who don't have emotion? But like, he just turns like his whole body like he's wearing the Batman cowl, and he just goes, "My name is Icarus," and you're just like, what? What is this dialogue?
It's
She
the
just
most-
asked you. She just told you a statement, and you just decided to just like. I know this sounds like we're getting into it right quick, but it's like he just like
jarring.
overruled her. Sorry, and was just like, "No, I'm talking about me now.
Yeah.
My name is Icarus."
Hey, if you want beautiful, take a look at these eyes.
no,
he's not
that
wrong.
would be characterization. Joe.
Yeah.
That he's a bit of a dick, or just like he wants to make it all about him. But this is just like insert dialogue here.
Yeah. We need to know that character's name quicker. Here's what you do quicker. You go, "Yeah, it is, isn't it?" I'm Icarus, by the way. Like, that's-
Yeah, that's like if you're at a new job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just like, yeah, I guess it is beautiful. Oh, I'm Icarus, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. If we haven't met before,
I'm new
but
here.
it turns out we have.
Yeah.
Thousands of times.
Thousands of times.
Memory wipe twist.
Oh god.
I've got to say, the memory wiping, yeah.
Sit back a bit, mate.
No, sorry. So the memory wiping, yeah. That's like one of the twists that comes with all the other twists as explained
All at
by,
once.
by Greg. Greg's just sort of like, "Oh well, I'm responsible for that and this, also this."
And by the way, I
And-
also did that.
Yeah.
Also, this bit that doesn't make sense at all,
yeah,
and it wouldn't make sense if I did it. I did it.
yeah, me, Greg. God, I wish his name was Greg.
That was so funny.
I thought to myself today, if they just had their memories wiped, at least like a couple of them, that would explain like Cersei's personality, right? Because she's been around 7,000 years. She has a very powerful power, right? Yeah. If you can just turn things, if you can turn matter, you can just transform it into some other type of matter, right? That's mad powerful, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing is like, well, she can't do it to living things. I'm like, oh, okay, so she can make water or gold out of anything,
Yes.
right? And it's like, oh, what a shit power. And everyone's just sort of like, oh, it's Cersei. And she's just sort of like, I'm Cersei. I'm just. It's like,
I don't know what I'd be able to do in a fight.
Yeah.
Make a giant wall
Yeah.
that is indestructible out of a single rock.
turn the floor to lava.
Yeah.
Like it, you know.
To be honest, in that last bit where they were trying to work out what to do, I really thought I knew how it was going to end, and they didn't even do the obvious thing. But which is literally like she can change matter
Yeah.
into other matter.
Yeah.
So maybe it would have fucked the planet a bit up. But why not? Instead of having the thing break out of the planet like an egg, have her make it so that it gets a route out. Just turn the water into sand or some shit. So I don't know. Maybe it fucked up the planet. I don't know. But I feel like there was something she could have done with her power in the end, other than just turn it to stone.
I feel like
I'll be honest. I quite liked the visual of it. Like.
I like
yeah.
that. There's now this artifact as well that they could go like. That's kind of cool. If it had a nice like nostalgic connotation to it, whenever I saw it in a movie, like, oh, that's from that movie, instead of it's from that movie.
That was from the.
But yeah, so so you got the
Oh, sorry. Just basically what I was saying was, if she had her memory wiped of being an Eternal,
yeah.
that would make her characterization make sense, and like she's like learning that she's like this powerful.
Yeah.
Because she acts like I'm just like girl next door. It's like from 7,000 years ago, who has the power of a god.
Yeah.
So that awful. Then that's like right from the off. I think the first sign I thought, okay, maybe this isn't going to be that good, and it's literally that the boy calls out to his dad, and the dad goes, "Run."
Yeah,
No.
and then here's the thing, right?
Dies like a South Park character. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just like run, bark.
But here's the thing, I think, it's like their early man, yeah, like Iron Age, I guess. I don't know. I'm not.
Even
5,000.
earlier than that.
I-
They say.
like, honestly,
Mesopotamia, they land, doesn't it?
yes, yeah, they do. Here's the thing, right? This film makes me grateful to not know much about history, because like I often think, I need to learn more about history. Or
Yeah.
something. But I reckon if you know a lot about history, you're just like going to be pulling your hair out watching
Yes.
this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You'd be pissed off
100%.
by this goddamn film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, life was so rough back then. That guy's probably got like a little cut on his hand, and he's like, well, I've only got a few days left.
He
Yeah.
just starts. He just starts like walking into the sea. So I mean, we're gonna have to describe the movie,
Okay.
just as best we can,
Yeah.
without actually wanting to jump out a window.
No.
And because
Too late.
Are you kidding?
Because we're reliving the
No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is. I've been needing this outlet since we saw it last night.
That's
This is
true.
very much. This is less of a chore now, and this is a relief. This
Yeah,
is.
that's true.
Oh my god! I finally get to just blah or whatever. I just.
And before we
Right.
get to that point, I feel like it's the elephant in the room full of elephants.
Yeah.
With this film is that
the really weird looking elephant.
the white elephant in the room of elephants.
Yeah.
Is the fact that the this shouldn't matter, but
Right.
the audience score
Yeah.
across the board
Yeah.
is high.
Yeah.
And I don't want to offend anyone,
No.
but I feel like we've got to the point where Marvel is so large that Marvel stands, quote unquote,
Yeah.
have taken over.
I mean, that would make sense to me. Also, the one sort of positive I could see from that is, like, I think, this film is commendably, like, has a very diverse cast.
Yes.
And, like, it's a Chinese-born director, woman director. That's good. Like, so I think, it's quite diverse behind the scenes as well. That's all good. So there might be people that are just, like, there's a gay kiss, like the first in, like, a mainstream superhero film, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Without it being like bi or something where it's like that kind of scapegoat one. It's literally
it's a
gay relationship.
it's a gay married couple, like,
And
A
also
gay
for
couple with a
Disney.
kid.
yeah. So like, and if there's people that like want to like score it that,
based off of that.
yeah, then I don't begrudge them that,
No.
because that is a good thing.
I don't agree
just
with it,
think
but
this,
yeah.
I just
do
think this
begrudge
film.
them that.
Okay, that's fair enough. But I just think this
because
film
it's got little to do with like the structure of like having the film.
yeah,
It's more like, right, we're breaking down barriers. That is a good thing.
yeah.
But the way that they've done it, it's actually awful. Like
Yeah,
the
I mean,
film.
it's a bad film.
Yeah.
But
But they're just like, I'll overlook that because
although I think, I mean, and this is just me kind of just trying to,
Devil's advocate.
no, I'm not
Marvel's
saying that.
advocate.
I just feel like no. 'Cause, in all honesty, I'm just thinking like, if you are like a member of
those communities.
yeah, then maybe the fact that you're seeing yourself represented on screen
Yeah.
is actually, you're not thinking I'm going to give this a high score because of this. You might just be thinking like, fuck yeah, and so you're not.
But they are giving them a high score because of it.
Yeah, but like, if they are genuinely just feeling that, like, if they're like elated by that, and it's just sort of
They're
override.
going to give it a
But
high
they
score.
are overlooking the fact that it's a terrible movie.
Yeah, I suppose.
The-
Also, it might just be Marvel
to
standards,
play
be fair.
again.
I was
right,
going to say, I'm not.
for Devil's advocate, that bit of it.
I don't think it's a lot of what we've just said. I don't
No.
feel like there's like a wave of
Yeah.
the LGBTQ plus community being
Yeah.
like, we have to make sure that this
Yeah.
stays over 75%.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
it is just what we've just
So-
discussed. It is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Marvel
Yeah,
standards.
I dedicated far too much time to considering
bit-
that.
No, but it is something to consider because
Yeah.
they are doing good things behind the scenes, but then it's not.
Translating.
Because the film is a mess.
No, it's not attached to good
A good
content.
film. Yeah.
So you're just like, well, that's just a bit
So-
of a waste.
th-
Not
so-
a waste, but a bit of a missed opportunity.
Just to throw this bit in it again, some sort of level of trying to keep in a well-rounded opinion. At the end of the day, so as much as we say these are terrible movies, and I do think they are terrible movies, and it's a movie, and everyone has a different take on it. At the end of the day,
Yep.
people like the DC I know so many people that don't like the Marvel movie. Legit people that have got, I agree with them, so their movie taste, some of that, and they do not like the Marvel universe, and they really like the DC universe. The logic baffles me, but this is one of the very rare areas where the line, everyone has their own opinion, is actually relevant. Because when it comes to the arts and things like that, things that like the whole, that's just my opinion, that line actually exists here. That's fine. You have your, because we all do have our own takes about what we think like that. That's fine. So it is very much don't use it in everyday life like with your politics and stuff like that. That's just my opinion, because it doesn't work that way, because that's when it starts getting destructive. In a film, as much as they matter, they don't matter, that sort of thing. So you can have your opinion. So as much as we think these are
Although
awful,
still, it matters enough to listen to a podcast about.
Yeah,
it.
please.
I always enjoy it.
So
An opinionated social. No, it's, but people listen to this.
It's subjective, isn't it?
It's exactly. So as much as we think this is awful, there generally might be people that were like, "Oh, that's quite a good movie," and then they're seeing the diverse aspect to it and stuff like that, and it just elevates it that little bit more, and then that gives it the good score. That could be it.
Yeah.
And then it could be that the things are marketing the good scores, so we're only seeing them. There's a little element to it. So it's very much, we do have to sometimes keep ourselves in check. We're like, we're not the be all and end all whether a good movie is good or not.
Or
But this
maybe
is pretty trash.
Maybe we're all Principal Skinner, saying, am I so out of touch? No, it's the children that are wrong. Because
This is 100% true, though.
But yeah, so
I mean, I do the voice, but I have a sore throat. But this is very much am I taking crazy pills?
This is the
yeah,
feel like I'm
this is
taking crazy
as much as what I just said as well,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
am trying. I do try to be understand and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Every time I've come across someone today, just today, seems to watch it yesterday, and then I'm like, they're watching, like, oh, I thought it was alright. I do literally, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
Yeah,
we use that we use that meme quite a lot in our circles.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills from
Zoolander.
Zoolander,
Yeah.
Will Ferrell. But this is the most on point time to use it.
Yeah.
Because again, we won't go too much more into audience scores, because at the end of the day, they don't really exist. They're just like a fucking algorithm of just opinion. So they and they can be judged either way, without any real merit. So it's a little bit that you do take it with a giant mountain of salt. That this film has kind of it's really opened up like a can of worms of in terms of fans trying to get buoyancy for a high score, and I heard that it got like review bombed. But this was when it was only critics who were able to review it.
Right.
And I'm just like, well, if it was out of, I think it was out of like maybe 50, when I first saw it, the news that it was getting quote unquote review bombed.
Yeah.
It was only less than like 100 critics. Right. I was like, that's quite low, you know, like for Rotten Tomatoes, that's quite a low number of critics.
Right.
Or I'd say it was, but maybe about 50 is probably quite low. But I was like, or is it just bad content? Like it felt very much like people were trying to make an excuse for why it was so low.
Because also,
and then to get people to be like, look, aren't these critics review bombing it? We should hike that thing up, shouldn't we? Because on the other side, it's got the audience score.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just maybe it's just not good. And where I read the critic review, like I only read probably about 20 or something, maybe about 15, and I was like, they're describing how it is, and they've got good points. Some of them not very articulately, some very articulately. And then on the audience side, it was just like, no, I'm just giving it a score, and I'm just going to write one sentence. And isn't the director great? She should direct a Star Wars movie. And I'm just like, look at the balance there. Look at the... And then you're saying that they were review bombing it because of some imagined plight about something. But like, it always was changing on my timeline on Twitter as well. Right. It was always changing, like, because they had a person of color basically affect what the... you know, like in the film, they had the scientist guy. Oh yeah. He elevated our use of weapons. Do you know what I mean? Like turning it into like he chain reactioned into having the atomic bomb. Right. And do you know what I mean? And then they were just like, and because loads of them are like, gay kiss, and like the reasoning just used to keep. I'd keep scrolling, and the reasoning for the review bombing would change. Right. So I'm like, there's no validity to it.
Here's the thing, right?
Who cares?
Right. Okay. If reviewers were going to go for a film, right? Yeah. It wouldn't be this one. Yeah. Because like the Nomadland, the film that the director of this film, like her most recent film before this, was critically adored.
Exactly.
Right. And like, I just don't think they're going to be like, oh, what? She's gone on to a Marvel film. Let's get her. Yeah. No. And
it just doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't add up.
What I was seeing about the opinion about why it was getting low scores was changing by the minute. So I'm just like, it has no foundation.
Well, it's like the Batman Superman. I remember they came out with that, like stands for that, but like, they're out to get it. It's like, well, maybe it's just because it's a joyless mess of a film. Maybe that's why they're out to get it.
Maybe the reasoning between why it's happening and why the conflict ends is literally a name. Yeah. And not important whatsoever. No. So,
but anyway, this film, right, it's fucking stupid. Okay, right. Another thing about Cersei, keeps giving gifts throughout the film. Yeah, right. There's one bit like she takes kid's knife that he's like trying to do something with, and she makes it gold and like nice pattern on it, and gives it back to him, and then she gives Icarus, when they're like falling in love, she gives him a stone that she makes like gold and like patterned. Right? Yeah, it's seeing you pick that stone up. Right, that is a shit gift. I don't care what you've done to it. I imagine at Christmas she's like, I got you this like statue, like it's all, that's real diamond, that, and you'd be like, it looks like a tooth. Was this your toothbrush before you turned it into a diamond? It was, yeah. Fuck off. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that is lazy gift giving.
Yeah. And also, you're just like, I know everything that you're giving me was once a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got you do the awful credits,
Talk to
then
me.
the awful introduction of the Eternals, and they help obviously the early man, I guess, I think. So that's what I was going to say. That dagger, is that a real thing?
What do you mean?
I've not seen it. If it
What do
is.
you mean?
Like, I'm sorry, something as significant as that. I know that they're a different world to us. They are supposed to be a different world to us, but don't plant yourself in history and say that this dagger, because it's introduced later. Is it after?
I feel like it is just not a metaphor. It's just a symbol for them bringing their technology to Earth, and one of their technologies being weaponry. And advancing because she looks at it, it's really primitive, isn't it? Because they use it to spear fish. And then she just upgrades it.
I think he's not even using it to spear fish. It's just to cut the fish open. Like,
Sorry, yeah.
And it's like,
See, all I took from it was that she was like making it nice.
she was saying it.
It looked nice.
I mean,
And then-
like the rest of the
and then-
film,
yeah.
and then
except for the CGI.
And then obviously it cuts to it on the billboard years later, important artifacts from our history. I was like, so obviously it's not part of our real history.
Yeah.
That's why I was more. I kind of knew it wasn't, but it just, why not? If you're going to do it this way, pick an artifact from history.
No, I've got to disagree. I hate that.
When they implant it,
I hate that.
It just seemed like the way they were doing it. It's just like
honestly, if it had been like, oh look, it's the No, I hate that.
Oh, okay.
No, I really do. Like at the end when they're implying that. I mean, fucking hell, they had your man invent the plow.
Oh yeah.
He invents plowing.
Yeah.
Oh, before.
What the fuck? Like the idea that early man wouldn't be able to invent plowing.
It's it's literally like.
I don't mean sex.
I mean, here's the thing. This is the overall thing that I'm just. I don't understand why people are not more. Not upset, but more just like, this is ridiculous. Is genuinely everything that's ever happened and anything that humanity's pretty much ever done, good or bad. They basically say it's because we because the Eternals had a hand in it.
Yeah.
The most egregious being they were gonna give us like steam engines in Babylonian times.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, they're so dumb. Dial it back. Make a plow.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, okay then. Like, oh god, this is so annoying. Like, why aren't they advancing quicker?
So early man was just sort of like just staring at their own hands.
Yeah,
And he had to come along and be like, here's a plow.
And it's everything. It's genuinely anything you can think of could probably be tied back to it. The one that I've already said it a couple of times since we left the theater, but it's just like sign language. Sign language was made by the Eternals, and you're just like, stop being so condescending to people's intelligence.
Yeah.
Like, you've basically just gone, God, aren't we horrible to each other? We must be dumb too.
Yeah.
You know, it's so. It's actually just like quite pathetic.
Yeah.
And it's not good storytelling.
No.
It's just like.
I mean, that ancient. You know, you get those people who like believe in like ancient alien theories. Yeah.
Yes.
Like I find that obnoxious. Like.
Very.
Yeah. And then whacking it in a big budget film, and then also not just a big budget film that is a sequel to like 30 other films and contradicts that. Do you know what I mean? And like just. It's just very annoying.
It's just but so we've got that bit, and she gives a knife, and it cuts to her years later. Blah blah.
And she's with a character from Love Actually, based on how they're written.
Yes.
Literally written.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It's a student's movie as a reaction to watching Love Actually.
Yeah.
That's what the dialogue is.
That first introduction to the modern time, to the modern day, is exactly that.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
awful. It's so badly written. Like the bit where he's like, for some reason he's running a class for her, and she comes in
the Natural
and
History Museum.
Please, Joe, please interject right here on why this is possibly one of the dumbest things ever.
Like there's just a class going on, right, in the Natural History Museum,
It is, isn't it?
Yes, it's the National History
But
Museum.
it's a school.
But there's just a class going on in the National History Museum, and it's not like a field trip. There's not another teacher
No,
there.
no.
They're just
That's
all at
their
their desk.
school.
Yeah,
There's school desks and
that's
stuff. Yeah.
not a thing. That is not a thing. And then here's the thing that really did my head in. Right, is she walks in and he's like, here's our museum professor or museum scientist. Like museum scientist.
I think they use just made up. Not they just use a made up title. I feel like it's probably museum science professor or scientific professor, and I'm just like, Jon Snow, don't insult my intelligence like that. That's not a thing.
Because also, I'm not a learned man. You just throw a job title at me over that. Oh yeah, like for
But
me,
you
to
know that's not a thing.
yeah, for me to be like that's bullshit. You know you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
In that same scene, the earthquake bit happens, and we like it's really irrelevant. It's over that. But I'm sorry, they all do exactly what they're supposed to do. They all know they're in England, and they all know. Okay, I suppose as a kid in that age, you sort of do know what to do in an earthquake. I don't know why you.
No, they
told-
tell them.
Oh, well, they say they hit the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They say get towards the walls and in between the doors.
Right.
I
that
believe.
girl who has to be saved because she hid under the artifacts pinned to the wall.
Yeah.
She ain't getting far in life. She ain't gonna last very long.
No.
Not
Stand
in a, not, in a,
underneath.
not in a universe where there's villains.
Oh yeah, forgot it's in the
that
Marvel
girl.
universe, isn't it? So like they should all be prepared for all sorts of shit going.
Yeah,
on.
no. She's not getting.
Especially
she
in
literally-
London after what happens in Spider-Man.
She
Yeah.
hid.
Far from home.
Yeah.
She hid under a thing that had been screwed to the wall,
Hmm.
which I'm not saying everyone would, but at the age they were, I knew that would be a stupid thing to do. But she hid under a thing that's pinned to the wall in an earthquake. You know that's going to fall.
I don't know. Like, look, it's England. I don't expect. Then again, it's Marvel universe, isn't it? So they should be prepared for
Yeah,
anything.
exactly anything. Yeah,
But yeah, like,
no, I know.
nah. If an earthquake went down right now, I'd have no fucking clue what to do.
They teach you in school.
In between the
When?
between the door frames.
They definitely. I definitely had less. I was taught it as a young kid. Like, you stand under a door.
I don't know about taught.
There's
in
no
the
way.
You're,
class.
you're made aware of what to do. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if it was in geography or because you're on the subject of earthquakes, but
Yeah,
but
it might be. It might be.
I remember being told under the doorway, under a table, that sort of thing.
Not under a table's not going to do anything. A
But whatever the
doorways.
thing is, I don't remember what it is now.
Yeah, well, there we
okay.
go.
Oh,
Ironically.
yeah.
No,
It's
because
just-
I've forgotten it doesn't mean I didn't learn it.
Explain algebra now.
I
'cause
remember
you
learning
everything
it.
you've ever learned
Exactly.
at school.
I remember learning it, but I don't remember.
He's just like, even I'd know what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go under a
Even
doorway.
I'd know what
No,
to
I
do.
can't remember.
Okay, but the point is, I knew at the time. I remember learning it. Just because
Right.
I've forgotten it doesn't mean I didn't
Right,
learn
okay.
it. But
No,
yeah,
I understand.
See,
what
look,
you
this film is making us turn against each other.
but yeah, and
mean.
then
Eternals is the real evil.
Yeah.
so it then cuts to the
Spoilers.
see you later. That bit, and honestly, my mind
See you
went
later?
straight. He literally goes to, "I'll see you later," then, and they're like, "Ooh,"
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very
Oh,
Love Actually
fuck
bit
yeah,
of dialogue.
Yeah.
and then cuts to the
And
the
then
later.
a bit of Love Actually action.
Yeah.
Dancing badly
Oh,
because
the-
he's a white boy.
No, that's not Love Actually. That's fucking Team America.
That is too.
Yeah.
The scene, I swear to God, it went on it, and I swear they were doing the music was playing, and it was the
The puppet dance.
Yeah, and the music
that
is
dance.
it's weird, like
Generic club music.
yeah, and before that they had a Pink Floyd song, right? Just to be like London. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
but, you know, nothing wrong with that.
I mean, the fact that they didn't use London Calling it only makes this film step up a notch from the floor.
Yeah, true. True.
But they could have, because obviously it's an American produced film
Yeah.
and you just expect it. The location that they used, not to be getting all serious about these things, but I mean, I don't think I've ever been to a bar that looks like that in Camden. It's a very American's impression of what that would look like.
Yeah.
Also,
Not going to get too hung up on it.
No, no.
because I really should.
here's the thing, right?
Walking down Camden Lock that time of night, probably not a good idea,
No,
even if you're with an Eternal.
And it was all very like, this bit was like, Joe, should we get some pizza?
Oh,
Mate, come on. I mean, I'm a vegan, but say kebab. Right, and also, right, hit that. Actually, forget this, right? Forget the before that they come out of the club, right? They're in the club, they're making out, and then she gives him this gift, right? And he's like, "This must have cost loads." It's like an ancient ring with his family crest on it. And she goes, "Oh, I'm just really good at eBay." And it's like, and he's just like, "Oh wow!" Like, I mean,
Right, the whole
An
dialogue.
eBay reference is very 1999.
The whole
it still
dialogue.
exists. It
the
does still
whole-
exist.
I know it does, but just say Amazon Prime.
yeah.
The whole dialogue.
But also, but also, it's a mind blowing gift, and he's just like, "Oh, swell."
Yeah,
the whole dialogue of, so this is what I don't understand, and how it quickly accepts it. Does he know that she's some sort of magic, or
So he brings it up. He goes,
he brings it up.
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
yeah,
"Are
I
you
know,
a
but I
wizard?"
can't tell if he's joking with the way it's written.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you a wizard like Doctor Strange? Like, no, are you genuinely asking her, because you just made some good points about why she might be with the coffee turning into
Yeah,
water.
there's zero emphasis
There's no,
behind it.
Yeah.
There's no conviction behind his words.
No.
It's very
like
badly-
jokey. It was
Yeah.
literally like in a world where Doctor, like, are you like Doctor Strange? It's like, but he's actually asking. He is actually
Yeah.
in that moment asking. You realise, because he actually says the water turns to the water turned to coffee. What did you fucking think she was?
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely her.
But also,
Maybe he's
that-
just as
But why are
dense
you
as
asking her
these
in a
rocks.
tone that is sort of like a joke? Like, it's bizarre.
we're forgetting the worst bit of dialogue is when he's like, "Have you given any more thought into moving in together?"
No one says those words.
No.
No.
I mean, come
And to be honest, if I'm having a nice, if I've asked them and I'm having a nice time at a party stuff, you don't ask them then.
Yeah.
You've clearly had a
No.
couple of drinks and stuff. That is not the subtopic of
Yeah.
talk of. Oh. And then walking on. Because anyway, he's just walking ahead and they're
Yeah.
chatting quite loudly.
Yeah.
Oh, so are you in love with him?
yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Oh, and that fucking character. Why? What?
We're introduced to a character called Sprite, which
Yeah.
is the worst name for a character pretty much of all time.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
yeah, that wouldn't occur to me if they weren't just constantly calling her that, and also just calling her that, irregardless. He's calling her that. They've not given her a different name.
I'm gonna just say this right now. One thing that bugs me about films is when they say a character's name too much.
Yeah,
Yes,
because we
yeah.
don't see each other's names in the world.
I don't know what
that
about Sam.
much.
God's
Joe.
sake, yeah.
It's the,
Joe, you have so many valid points, and especially when you counteract Sam's points.
it's
Thanks,
the
Liam.
it's the American Dad bit. You know, when they're on the phone and he called him bro or sis
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
the phone. It's like, no one's listening, but and then we all know who you are. But I'll call you bro.
But
Like,
Yeah.
they do it an egregious amount of times with this character in particular.
I think
And they do it a lot with but this one is the one that stood out. Where I'm just like, I get it. Like, her powers are making sprites,
Yeah.
like are making copies of people. You know,
More
like-
like illusions, isn't it?
yeah. Well,
plus
say in a video game, like
Yeah.
a character on the screen in like mainly 2D games would be just called a sprite.
yeah, it's a mythical creature as well, isn't it? It kind of fits what she is. It's like some
It's
sort of
like
pixie
it's like a
goblin.
mix
It's
of
a pixie.
like those
It's a
things.
pig.
Yeah.
It's a pixie goblin sort of thing. So,
But they literally they're saying it so much.
Do you
They're
think
just
they're,
saying it so much.
Do you think they were expecting like this character's gonna pop?
Oh, they're
you-
100%.
Yeah.
Because they're just like this 7,000-year-old child
Yeah.
is definitely going to resonate with TikTok kids.
Yeah, it's not a fun idea.
No.
Right? It's a horrible idea. They've taken it from Kirsten Dunst in Interview with a Vampire, right? But in that, it's a horror film.
it's a horrific idea.
Exactly, and they
has
play it for that.
there is
Whereas
no-
here, it's like, oh, it's a bit superhero fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
No.
it's just there's no place for it in a Marvel movie. Like,
No.
she's just like,
And
it's-
wisecracking kids are the most annoying, like
Trope.
Yeah, and then they're just like they're combining an annoying wisecracking kid with a disturbing idea, not being played for like disturbing for the most part, and just awkwardly mashing it together and putting it in this film. Oh, I didn't like it.
yeah, it's just
No offense to like not knocking the actor or anything. It's just a horribly like written role.
I'm
Like,
gonna,
No, yeah,
I'm gonna say,
the-
I am
this.
knocking whoever gave her that haircut.
Oh yeah, terrible. I'm going to say this about the character, which I feel we haven't talked about. When we're introduced to this character, she's projecting herself as an older
As an
woman,
adult woman, yeah.
getting hit on by a man in a bar.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Very
that is very
disturbing.
disturbing in a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
And I'll explain because they
Which I will
basically
now go into.
they basically said she is a child.
Yep.
She hasn't developed into an adult,
Yeah.
but she is quote unquote wise because she's 7,000 years old.
Yeah, she's mature.
And she has the
life experience.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
life experiences of someone who's been 7,000 years on this
yeah,
earth.
yeah.
And then she changes when the guy he basically just like goes to like touch her hand, I think. And it just goes straight through and he's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like doesn't freak out that much.
He sort of acts as if she's being like a dick.
Yes. And then
really
and
weird.
then she
Yeah, like-
and then she
Are you
turns
making yourself non-compor? What's it called?
she
What's
turns
that, yeah.
she turns and then is just like she changes back into her kid form.
Yeah.
And I'd be sick because I'd just hit on a child.
Yeah.
And then you'd just be like, there's some strange shit happening in this bar.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave town immediately. Because usually when stuff like that goes down,
Yeah.
the world nearly ends.
And I'm still getting over the fact that I was either like disappeared for 5 years or lots of people I know did.
Yeah. And
because-
it was just, I was just like, this is ultimately quite disturbing.
Yeah.
They're going to brush over it because cheeky quips.
Yeah.
Marvel every 5 minutes. Yeah. Of course they do.
Oh yeah.
Terrible introduction to a character.
Oh, so bad. And then she's just sort of there being like moody and like that, you know, because her whole thing, like he's like, oh, well, are you moving in with me then? She's like, oh, I live with Sprite. I mean, why not call her Jane? Like the very,
I know.
like why just be like, oh, Sprite, and he's just like Sprite. Like this. Oh, God.
At no point over the course of these 7,000 years did they ever even consider changing their names?
No.
Why isn't one of them just called like
John.
I don't know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And why have they made no attempt to blend into humanity?
Apart from Cersei, Gemma Chan has apparently just adopted like a kooky best friend personality. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like her, oh.
She has taken on the what do you call it? The manic pixie dream girl trait from every movie she's watched in the last 10 years. But she's 7,000 years old. We'll get to another mind-bending fact that me and Sam realised, which happens later on in the movie. But we will get there. We will get there. But yeah, then they have they have a deviant. So the deviants. I mean,
Terrible
you haven't
name.
actually
Just got terrible name.
Yeah,
terrible name for
I know.
villains.
Maybe okay. So that's
absolutely
not.
useless in
That's
this film.
not their. That one. The argument that one is it's not necessarily their fault. It's whenever the Eternals were written.
Oh, you know, and the
Okay.
thing is, you can't change something like that because you know the Eternals is so popular.
yeah,
So many
no one would
fans
even
would
know.
be
Yeah.
annoyed if you changed the name of the Deviants.
Oh, wait.
Oh wait, no.
No.
Yeah, do whatever the fuck you want.
They literally changed so many ethnicities in this cast.
Yeah, yeah.
And no one, like you said, Joe, you made a very good point when we came out. No, the Eternals is so unbeloved that no one gave a fuck.
Yeah, no racist tried to hijack it by being like, "Oh, how could they do this?" You know.
But God, getting back to we haven't even left London, and that's like in the
Do you know what?
first 10 minutes.
Oh,
I
it's
feel,
gonna be
I feel
easy to
this
get
is
through the
partly
rest
my
of it,
fault,
trust me.
right? A few times I've been in Camden and thought, you'd like to see this in more films. It's like a cinematic looking area.
Yeah.
I did this.
you
manifested it, Joe.
I blame yeah, it's the family curse.
Yeah.
Um,
You basically your moon was in line with your sign.
yeah,
and
Jupiter or something.
Your
and
your one fucking Jiminy Cricket wish came true.
Yeah.
Your lineage is so involved in the threads of the universe that
I
you
greened
can
it the
change
Eternals.
them.
Yeah.
You and your family.
So they get. Here's the thing: the deviants get introduced really, except for when they've been talked about. The way they get shown is one emerges from the Thames. Takes me right out of the film because they'd instantly be dead. That shit is toxic.
Yeah.
It catches the eye of a dog. Is that right?
Is it?
You know, there's like a dog under a
That's
dog.
afterwards, but yeah. No.
that's
is
before.
Yeah,
I don't remember
yeah.
It comes out and it snarls at it and goes back in the water.
Yeah.
Such a nonsensical shot. Makes zero sense.
Yeah.
But
pretty
they
much
just didn't
sums
wanna
up the
kill a
film.
dog. They didn't want to kill a dog. That was
No,
it.
no. It
Which
just
is
comes
fine,
out the water,
but-
looks angry, like just like growls, and then just
It's-
fucks off back in the water
All right, but then
to,
there's
to
a bit-
get even more diseases.
And then there's do you know what? I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Although is it that deep, the round there? Would it be able to
See, I think it's in the Thames, and then it goes in. Does does Captain Lock go into the Thames? I don't think it does.
No idea, to be honest with you.
I feel like they're just playing magical geography, like a lot of American films do with Europe.
Yeah.
And for God's sake, why did London have to take over from Paris as being the most destroyed goddamn city?
I think they're just like,
France earned that right. France earned the hatred from the Americans. What did we do?
Because we just... When they came for Paris in many a film with CGI destruction, I said nothing.
I think I know. I think I've cracked it.
We literally oppressed them.
No. I think I cracked it. All of their good superheroes are British. In portrayal, not like as in they are actually British. But yeah, we've come for their acting jobs.
Yeah,
and they've come for our city.
We've not come for their acting jobs. We've come for their heroes.
Yes. So I mean, fair enough. Okay, right. That's a good trade-off.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So they fight the bit deviant.
Right. They fight the deviant, okay? And the deviant can heal itself, and they're like, huh. Oh, yeah, and Icarus turns up. Richard Madden.
Yeah.
He turns up. He turns up. He's in the fight.
Yeah.
You know, he turns up in that fight. And, he's there. I was instantly, to be fair, right from the start, I've been like, so Jon Snow and Robb Stark in the same film. Like, if they feel they're both right for the part, whatever. But it's just sort of, it's just very distracting. I found it distracting. It's a minor quibble.
I said to him, I'm so surprised how awful it was. They didn't, and I'm glad they didn't. I guess there's no line or anything when they meet and shake hands. And there's no reference.
I was glad for that.
No, I'm glad for it, but I'm almost surprised they didn't.
Yeah,
that's how awful the film. I kind of expect the film to do the reference, but it didn't. So now it's like a saving one. I don't know. But well done for doing the bare minimum.
Yeah, and then it's that thing where like she has to explain like so Icarus is Cersei's ex, and obviously he has
more Love Actually stuff.
Yeah.
And he just accepts it.
But with
he's not at all.
Yeah.
By this point, he's obviously suspected something of her, so that's sort of okay. But just accepts it all, and in that moment where all this has happened, he's been attacked. He's just seen do these. He's actually seen her powers in action for the first time, which is, I'm sorry, thinking she's a wizard is one thing. Thinking she can manipulate matter, and the very matter is, you go, oh fuck, you'd be taken to seeing it and thinking someone's a wizard, and then seeing that shit in person. It's the same as like we watch it on a movie. If you did that on a movie, I'm like, oh, that's cool. If you turn that chair, it's matter. Oh, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
You just lose your shit.
But he's just like, could you turn me into a giraffe?
God,
and then still brings it back to about the moving in. Like, oh my fucking god,
have you not just witnessed what happened?
Yeah.
A guy with laser beam
like a
eyes,
fucking dog with a bone,
who you now find out is your ex's, your girlfriend's ex. Sorry.
Yeah.
Is a little bit more than maybe if you turn me into a fucking animal. That'd be really cool.
I always wanted to be a giraffe.
Yeah.
God.
And they hug goodbye.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Why don't they kiss goodbye?
Right, so here's what really did me in. It's in the trailers, but it's like he's like, why didn't you help with Thanos or any of the other? And she's sort of like, we're forbidden. Greg forbade us, and it's sort of like, come on.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's not.
So you've basically got like no morals.
Yeah.
That's another
religion.
It's another step down where it's just like, right. So it's one thing after another where they're just chipping away at why I should care about these aliens.
Yeah.
Who turn out to be robots, basically.
Yeah, and why it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit into the Marvel universe.
Not at all.
And here's the thing, I like the idea of this film. Yeah, I like sort of basically like Highlander. Yeah, it's not a very good film, but I love it because it sort of jumps around in time and there's immortal characters. Yeah. And like like Buffy and True Blood, whenever they flash back to like vampires in the past. Awesome, right? So, this film, right? I feel like, of all the Marvel films, would really benefit from not being in the Marvel universe, right? Because there's just too much stuff to link it to, yeah. And
especially if you're going to that far in the past that many times, that's a lot of stuff that has to interconnect You really do have to be smart about it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you do just end up with this. And, you know, going into the past has not boded well for Marvel so far.
No, with Captain Marvel being all like, oh well, she was like the first Avenger, really.
Yeah, and the placement of Black Widow as a film,
Oh yeah.
also a bad choice. So, you know, that's two where you're like, it had to be really on point with its selective times,
Yeah.
or just don't do it. And this one, they just went, I'm going to ignore that,
Yeah.
and I'm also going to shit the bed.
Yeah.
So,
And also, if their whole thing was they weren't supposed to interfere, don't live amongst any population.
go away with it.
Yeah, silly. Also, right. So, right, I'm just gonna get
Live on the ship.
to the twist that. Well, I mean, yeah.
Right. Okay. So I'll do a quick. I'll do a time jump like they do.
Okay.
So basically, when you have this fight in London with Icarus, Cersei and Icarus and Sprite all decide to go and
Fine.
get the team back together.
Yeah.
Like you said, Joe, as we came out of the theater, you were just like, "Why are we getting the band back together in a film where we keep seeing the band together?"
Yeah.
It just takes any necessity of that narrative out of any kind of any care you had for these characters.
Yeah.
Um,
It's no like, oh, I wonder
and you're
what
like,
their
well,
dynamic
okay,
is.
we're gonna spend pretty much an entire 45 minutes to an hour
Yeah.
getting the band back together when we've been seeing scenes of them all together already.
Yeah. Including one really terrible shot in a film that generally looks very good, right? And I should say, right, Nomadland, the director's previous film, beautiful film, right? Like visually stunning. There's one of the worst shots I've seen in like a mainstream film where it's like Icarus and Cersei get married in like olden times.
They get married in Mumbai, I want to say.
Was it not Babylon?
So they were in Babylon,
Right.
and then they wait, I think, 50 or 500 years to get married.
Long engagement.
Yeah.
Gotta be sure.
Yeah, go be sure. Yeah.
But it cuts to like all the other characters, and there's too many of them.
Oh, 100%.
There's too many Eternals. But like it just cuts to them all sort of in just like a really flat shot of them all like smiling, like, it's good, this
Yeah.
family photo.
It reminds me of a bad version of the last shot in like Return of the Jedi,
Right, yeah.
where it's just like, but that one is like it's the culmination of 3 films
Yeah.
and an emotional journey.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just in the montage of the beginning of the film, or like parts. It's
Yeah,
still in the
yeah.
first.
We don't
hour.
know who they are.
Yeah. We're still
know.
getting to know these people, and are you supposed to be like, oh look, aren't they enjoying themselves? You know, being aliens from other planets and basically taking credit for everything. So I felt nothing. No.
Also, by the way, just on the topic of Icarus and Cersei, first Marvel banging we ever see, or love making.
Whichever one you go with.
Al fresco love making.
I know it's a bold choice.
Yeah.
because they were on a boulder. So you know.
They were.
So
There's a moment. That's after she gives him that stone.
Yes. He's just like, there's a lot of rock things going on. Like, is this all that's going to happen?
To jump a little bit, that bit where he says about the later on where they go back there, and literally references it. Literally, I'm sorry, he's referencing his own eternal wank bank. They're like, I often think of this place. I bet you fucking do.
Isn't it?
Literally, like where you first banged. That's you just made a romantic reference to your wank bank.
Or
That's
the
what just
location
happened.
where you lost your virginity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Kind of awkward. Very awkward.
Yeah.
I think about this all the time. Of course you do. Like,
Yeah, that's...
yeah, that's
It does... It's... Yeah. You see them go to find Ajax.
Salma Hayek.
She...
Right, her character, yeah. Nearly all her dialogue is essentially live, laugh, love.
Yes.
Just like, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
she is the mum of
Yeah.
the group, so...
And that's not like it's
really
one of those
bad
things, it's like,
written.
it's just sort of like the mother figure, like very much sort of like, I'm your mum, like the
Yeah.
whole time.
but your general as well, like your
Yeah.
commander, like okay,
General Mum.
captain, whatever. Yeah.
It's they go to
That is
see
definitely
her.
the name of a Facebook group she would be the admin of.
Selma Hayek admin with just any other overbearing the mum from the Goldbergs.
One for the Goldberg.
Raymond's
Everybody loves
mum.
Raymond.
Raymond's
yeah.
mum from Everybody Loves Raymond. Just the most toxic Karen group of all time. So meta. But they go to get the band back together, and they start with the one who was leading them.
Yeah.
And they find her dead.
Weird because she can heal, just like the.
Just like
the
the
monster,
deviant
yeah.
they fought in London.
Yeah,
town.
they almost saw speak, which I did not see that bit.
I did not see that bit
I'm,
either.
Right, it's like, I
I know
swear
I'm
it nearly
forgetting bits
spoke.
of this film, but I'm certain that wasn't.
No.
I nearly saw it speak, and I was like,
We are
No.
going to get to that particular deviant,
Yeah.
and it's absolute pointlessness. But they find her dead, and now we get to a bit where every single time it was brought up in the movie, and it was
Yeah.
brought up a lot.
Yeah.
We had to out loud say this,
Yeah.
right? So Cersei gets chosen by Ajax
Yeah.
post death somehow.
Yeah.
To be the new leader of the Alien A Team, and right, it is just the fact that she was just the only one who was outside at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's like.
She
sort of-
is just the closest person to the corpse.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is like Ajax like, has like some sort of orb inside her, which
Given
is,
to her by Greg.
Yeah. So she's able to communicate with Greg.
Yeah.
And like no one else is, and that sort of flies out of her, hovers around a bit, and then
goes back in, and then that's triggers the whole.
It goes into Cersei, who
Yeah.
then sees Greg, and Greg's like, "It's me, Greg," and then she's like, "Oh,"
No, go away.
and then like several times people are like, "Oh, you know, Ajax chose you to lead us," and it's like, but I mean, she was the only one.
She was
Yeah,
the only one
yeah.
there.
And like, yeah,
And they do mention it. I'd say they mention it over 10 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It
each and every
felt like
time
it.
we did just we were saying it to each other.
Yeah.
By the end, we were telepathically mind linking,
Yeah.
conversationing between ourselves. We had no need to use our words because our
No.
brains were linked together. And we could just tell what we were trying to get across. She was just the closest person to the
Literally
body.
just across the
Yeah.
ship.
It seems like Sprite and Icarus were like, "Oh, let's take our grieving to the kitchen."
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'm going to stay out here for a bit." See if
We've
anything
just got
happens."
here.
Yeah. I'm just going to stay by the rotting corpse, just in case there's any story stuff that needs to happen.
Yeah.
And that eventually did. But
Also, take her inside.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
why?
it's-
They don't wrap. They don't like cover her.
No.
They
super,
don't.
super strength. Literally,
I know.
all of them have super strength. They could have carried her with ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's leave her lying out.
I mean,
in the-
Selma Hayek, she's only little.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's true. Yeah. she's-
yeah.
But then once this has happened, they're basically like, well,
Let's find the others.
let's leave her here
Yeah.
and let's just find the others.
Yeah.
I think, do they leave her there? I might have
I
gone.
don't.
out
I
at that
don't
point.
remember there being a funeral thing.
They don't do a funeral.
There is a-
They don't,
there
they don't
is
show
a
a funeral.
There is a
but-
funeral thing for the guy who dies later, Gilgamesh.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, they
But,
burn him, but they don't really show anything like that for
Yeah.
Selma.
Maybe
For
they're just
Ajax,
in
but
case
yeah.
Ajax had more things to bestow upon people. Leave the corpse out.
I think they
Leave
I
it
do-
outside. In
Yeah.
they do
in the
another
mud.
they do another expedition, jump and they back to the past while they're figuring in the plane ride to
Is that when they go to the early 1500s
When they have a falling
they're-
out.
Yeah, where they are. Although we don't ever in this scene we don't see them fighting deviants. There's just
No.
like a war going on where they are in. I think they're like in Mexico.
yeah.
It looks like conquistadors.
yeah.
if that's the right word.
But they've-
Probably not.
they've-
Ignore
So it
that.
was like the natives versus like conquistadors. So it was like people with guns
Yeah.
versus people with bow and arrow and with sword
Yeah.
and shield.
And it's the whole thing of like, we can't intervene.
No.
Yeah,
Um,
we need to fight these deviants, and once these deviants are gone,
yeah.
or these deviants are defeated,
Yeah.
there are no more deviants.
No.
There was absolutely no evidence to suggest that.
Yeah.
It was just told in dialogue,
Well,
and
there's a
you
little
don't really
sphere.
see.
There's like a little sort of globe that comes up.
Oh, okay. Like it's just so weak, Source.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like there's no. I don't think they're even really. You don't see them fighting them that much. They're just caught in this chaos
Yeah.
of this brew that's going on.
Well, she
and-
comes. She comes back and says there's more deviants than you said. She goes, I bet you enjoyed that. Yes, I did. I'm like, I like to have seen that scene.
Yeah,
Oh
again,
yeah,
yeah.
because Angelina Jolie, she's the fighty one,
She is the fighty one.
and also weirdly not the main character, despite
God,
being
she's
played
such
by
a
Angelina Jolie.
Such a subclass for.
We haven't
Angelina
even
Jolie.
talked about half of the internals.
Fucking
I feel
hell.
like we're about
Should we go
45
through-
minutes to an
Should we
hour.
go through all of them quickly?
Yep,
Right, the ones we haven't mentioned, right? Okay, so we've mentioned Cersei, Sprite, Icarus,
and Ajax.
and Ajax. Right, so that's Gemma Chan, Teenage Girl, Richard Madden, Selma Hayek, and then we've got. Well, I don't know her name.
No, it's fair enough.
I'm sure
Tina.
she's talented.
It's
for-
Liam McHugh.
Liam
but it's
McHugh.
fine.
So then we've got Angelina Jolie, massively famous person,
Playing a massively famous character from history.
Fina.
Yeah.
Athena.
Everyone's favourite.
Goddess of something. They
Wisdom.
keep changing it. They keep changing it around. They
So they keep
call her
calling her
the Greek goddess of war.
Goddess of war.
And I'm like, I don't think that
Athena
tracks.
is the goddess of wisdom.
Yeah.
That she does sometimes get referred to as the goddess of war in aspects.
But in
because
this,
there was
film, she
there
needs
was a
to be
bit of a
Mrs.
crossover.
Stabby. So
In Greek mythology,
Mrs.
there's a bit of a
Stabby.
crossover between her and Ares, but generally she's goddess of wisdom. Not
But to be
goddess of
fair,
war.
because she isn't, the idea is she like inspired ancient civilizations. So
Yeah.
you could see how they might get
Yeah,
mixed up.
exactly. So okay, that's fine. But
And then there's Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh,
Gilgamesh is also like a.
I recognise it.
It's
Yeah,
a famous like mythological from like some I don't know whereabouts from.
yeah, played by Don Lee.
powerhouse.
Okay.
He's just the powerhouse.
But even though they all seem to be powerhouses.
Yeah, but he's the strong one.
Okay. All right.
I know they've all got super strength, but he's the one with the super strong.
He's the punchy
fists.
one.
Yeah.
He's the punchy one.
Punchy but punch.
Punchy one.
Oh yeah. I should say as well, Icarus. He has the power to just be Superman.
Well,
Literally is
Icarus,
Superman.
we said this. Icarus got the luck of the draw because everyone's got super strength. That's like a base power. Let's
Right.
just take that out of the equation.
Okay.
He got about 3 more powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Here's the thing. Right. First scene. Yeah, where they're fighting the deviants. He's got a wound on his arm, and Ajax, she can heal people. She heals him, and he goes, "Thank you, Ajax," which really stuck with me. Of like it
Another
seems so
bit of
weird.
basic dialogue.
Yeah.
We've
Really
been
odd.
saying this ever since we left. This script is first draft.
Yeah.
There was not a second. There was not an amendment made to this script.
No.
Because it is just that bad.
Yeah. And I was like, that's odd. And then several times throughout the film, you see him like get stabbed by the deviants again, and he just heals. It's all like, well, there's not even like a sense of injury.
Yeah.
But other people do just get killed by like the same attack.
Yeah.
I really hate the vagueness of like the people's sort of strength and abilities and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then there's your man Druig, who
Yep.
can control
Druig,
people's
yeah.
minds.
Yeah.
But his whole argument with the rest of them was like, oh, I can control people's minds. I should be doing that more often. Keep them on the right path. And then he walks off with a load of them, like a load of people from whatever city they're in. Can't remember where.
Yep.
And then just seems to have a cult of about 20 people living in the rainforest.
Yep.
And he sort of goes, well, I would have liked to control people, but like, you take their flaws away. That's what makes humans human. It's like, couldn't you have like stopped the slave trade or something,
Yeah,
mate?
could have done. Could have just but you decided to use your power for taking a couple of thousand people and just living in the woods.
Yeah, and some, I guess, encouraging them not to breed because there's a very small group of people that he's in charge of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
But he takes a group of like
why
the
is it okay-
conquistadors and the natives. So
Okay,
it's just
yeah.
like, okay, you're just gonna just take those. Like,
Yeah.
It's
But
a
the-
weird like I'm gonna go now, but I'm taking these.
But you
lot
come
with
to the realization that you shouldn't take away their free will, but then this 20 years okay though.
Yeah. And also, he's sort of like, well, I didn't want to take away their flaws.
Except this,
So basically, I
except
know.
this collection I live with.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I have no reason to disagree with you guys anymore, even though that was what I was disagreeing with you guys about. Mental. Oh, I should say Angelina Jolie. She's stabby, isn't she? She goes mental.
Oh yeah, she's got a weird stabby thing.
yeah.
Is it ever really explained?
So basically, what happens is they go, "Oh, it's this." I can't remember what they called it. It's called like the whimsy mind or something.
Yeah, literally is that.
The
yeah,
whimsy mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
cheers. And something like that. And they're like, "Oh, it's because she's got so many memories. It happens to us all eventually. We're gonna have to wipe your memories." And she's like, "I don't want to have my memories wiped. I'll miss you guys." And then Gilgamesh is like, "Oh look, I'll take care of her." And they're like, "Oh, you know, you might have to kill it. She might try and kill you." He's like, "Don't you worry." And so
I've got these gold fists.
yeah. And they're like,
So they're aware
And
that
super
they're,
strength, like
they're aware
everyone
that
else.
their
Yeah.
minds keep getting wiped.
no, they're not aware they keep getting wiped. They're aware that it's a possibility,
Oh, okay.
but only if you get the whimsy mind.
I we get the whimsy mind.
God,
Yeah.
this is so convoluted.
Right, and then right, so then also there is Camille Nanjiani, I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
Really, really good guy. Good guy. I don't know him. Seems cool. Seems cool. Very
Playing
talented.
Kingo.
Playing Kingo. Was it really like his film The Big Sick? He's a very talented guy, very funny. Semi wasted in this. Kingo. In all the flashbacks, doesn't have any funny lines.
No.
And then they bring him in as like a sort of but like in the present day, he's like funnier.
Yeah.
Odd.
He's learnt to have a sense of humour and a burgeoning Bollywood career over about 100 years. Basically just playing exactly the same person, and no one notices because he tells them it's his great-grandfather, his grandfather,
Yeah.
and his father,
Yeah.
which is
So does he,
terrible.
So just on that, I could be very wrong. He was not a convincing Bollywood actor.
Right. He's no dancer.
oh no,
No.
he was just there for star power.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
and here's
he-
the thing, like, cool. Like, I like him a lot, and I like the idea of that character. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
fun
yeah,
idea,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. Like, I just thought, and I'm no dance expert. I'm not a learned man, right? But you know, like,
Well,
you see,
you must have only had like 2 weeks training.
yeah, he sort of does some sort of, he gets some facial expression right. There's a sort of cocky facial expression he does.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But basically, just some shoulder movements. And-
They really like if you see some Bollywood stuff,
Yeah.
they really basic it up.
Oh,
They
massively.
make it super
It's,
basic.
yeah, well, it's the
They
Hollywood
basic-
interpretation.
What
of
they
Bollywood.
did,
Yeah.
well, they tried to make it look like the girls do all the elaborate movement and the guys just do like a little shot.
Bit of head bob.
Not the case at all.
No.
Like everyone in that dance is incredibly dancing.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an entertaining thing to see. And it was just I was really underwhelmed. I was like,
He
okay.
got himself in like great shape for this film, which I do find weird in the Marvel thing. It's like I think like Hemsworth sort of set the template, and also actually
Yeah, but he was playing a god which is famously got
Yeah.
yeah,
beyond abs.
but like it's just sort of weird that it's just accepted that they all have to get in great shape, even though
I
they
know.
have superpowers. So
Yeah.
it doesn't actually matter. Do you know what I mean? Anywho. Well, actually, I suppose maybe back even pre-MCU, Tobey Maguire getting in mad shape for Spider-Man. Maybe that sort of set the template a bit. Anyway, besides the point, I reckon he was so busy working out, he was like, "Oh, dancing, fuck."
It was just like, oh, I've got. They were just like, so how's the gym going? Yeah, it's going really well. Like I've been doing hours and hours a day, and they were just like, and the dance lessons. It's just like, and the email about the dance lessons.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they'd be great.
Yeah.
But just don't talk to any of the instructors. We're keeping a lot of the choreography a big secret
Yeah.
because obviously it's going to be a big scene, and they're just like,
We're
actually,
making
we're
the
just going to
movie.
have about 3 minutes of it, and then it's going to stop because, you know, movies.
Yeah.
So and it just has to keep going. And the one bit I turned to Joe about was just like, why are they allowing these people to just talk at normal volume on set?
Yeah.
It's a closed set, and that's just your scene is fucked.
How did
Like-
everyone in the studio know that he was leaving in that conversation as well?
Oh yeah,
Like,
they all
all
stay
standing to say
outside
bye
the
to him.
studio.
Yeah.
And they're like, "You're going."
Yeah.
They got told that they were off for lunch, and then they've all just been like, "No."
So basically, he's told that Ajax is dead, and he's just like, "What?" And everyone just sort of leaves. But,
Yeah.
like, it's not like they go, "Ajax dead," like, and he's like, "Get out, everyone!" They just sort of, it's like everyone is in sync with him, and like they sense his emotion. It's like he needs to be alone. And they were just like,
But we should wait for him.
yeah,
the character of the valet is possibly the worst companion. We all talk about our favourite companion scene. worst companion ever written. I really don't.
I don't
I
know.
don't know about ever, but it's a terrible character.
Like, there's no.
It's like
just
it's a
rubbish.
character. It's crammed in like that.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like 9
Yeah.
Eternals.
And he's
like,
poor. He's a
let's give
terrible
him
actor.
Let's give him a human
he's
sidekick.
alright. He's fine.
No, they just play. He's playing generic sweet, but he's a terrible actor. He's not a good actor.
I don't think.
Oh no, maybe not a good actor. He's not good
Bland,
in
just
this.
bland.
He's not good in this.
But honestly, like when there's, I don't think you can really like when the material is very bad. I don't think you can really.
Yeah, so maybe not.
Cool,
Sorry,
that's
not
a
the
bad
actor.
actor.
He is terrible in this. I've never seen him in anything else, but he's absolutely terrible in this. Like it I don't. That bit where he has a really nice moment when he says bye to him, "Thank you for everything done." I felt nothing.
That's because the rest of the movie's just been a blank.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's just
And
been
it's a
so
completely like, unearned moment. Do you know what I mean? He's sort of like, thank you for everything, which I've like heard about, but you haven't. And anyway,
Yeah.
but he's crammed in. He's like mate.
Yeah.
And then there's one more. I can't remember the character name. Superfast.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
The
they
woman
say
who
her
speaks
name.
a sign language. She's I don't believe. I think she's a deaf actor.
So Macari,
Right. Don't know the actor's name.
Lauren Ridloff.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah. Super fast
that
characters.
rounds them out.
It's a bit of a not a fan of super fast characters.
Oh, Macari sounds like Mercury.
Gary.
Ah, right. Yeah, got you. Yeah, not a fan of super fast characters myself. You know, that's just.
Well, speedsters.
You like speedster? I
Love
like
a speedster.
I just feel like, well, that's the film's bullshit. As soon as there's a super fast character, super fast protagonist, yeah, that's it. Well, he sorted it. He's fine. They can do it all. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's a bit where they go, oh, can you run around the earth and find out where the thing's going to emerge from? Greg's baby. And she's like, yeah, sure. Runs around. You see her run through like Rio and stuff. And he's like, I found it. And it's just like, and then at the end, like she's punching Icarus, spoiler. And it's like, well,
Do this the whole time.
yeah, just keep punching him. Nonsense.
He catches her.
Yeah,
After
it's
a while.
not established.
How does he
that he's
catch
super
her?
fast.
How the fuck does he catch her?
So he's
Insane.
Superman, and they reference that he's Superman multiple times.
Yeah, but no, he doesn't. This Superman literally doesn't have super speed. Like, there's
They
no
never-
super
yeah,
speed
it's
element
never-
to him.
It's true.
Yeah,
So he should never be able
Budget
to catch
Superman.
her.
yeah.
Why is the pointless deviant able to see her? There's nothing about Gilgamesh's or Ajax's powers that say you can spot when she's running her pattern. Like it literally like she slows down.
Right.
Like it makes no sense.
Who knows?
Yeah, so where they've kind of like got most of the band back together now. I think what's her name? Mikari's probably the only one missing at this point, and then they
What now?
And
go
Druid.
find her.
No, we ain't even got
Druid comes before Mikari.
Yeah, that's true.
So
They go
right
back-
from Kingo, they go to Angelina Jolie and was it Athena and Gilgamesh? They're living out
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the desert
Yeah,
somewhere.
In Australia.
Okay.
Of where she's very much he's developed a sun's getting real low shit with her.
Yeah,
Mirrored the sun's getting real low shit. They literally do the hand thing.
that is true.
Oh yeah.
They do all that and talk it down from shit, whatever, because she's still got the whimsies. They see around the table there. It's quite a nice, this sort of like family thing, but it's just like they have they reference.
It's
the
not. It's
only
not nice.
The only reference of the rest of Marvel, I think, in the whole thing. Oh, Thanos. Kit Harington mentions where you with Thanos and that
Yeah,
lot,
and Doctor Strange.
and the blip.
Yeah.
So that they actually do
No,
quite
they
a bit
do,
of
yeah.
mentioning.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah.
I must have
Zoned out by
switched
that
off.
point, yeah? Fair enough.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
'cause
blame
the-
it.
the
Like,
idea-
oh,
well, the
Tony
idea
and
as
Cap
well is-
die. Who's gonna run the Avengers? And maybe I can. It's like, okay.
Which also doesn't make sense why you'd say that based on the revelation that he's like the villain.
Yeah.
Um,
Spoilers. But
Yeah, well,
Yeah, he's literally it's just
look, because this thing, Angelina Jolie is such a famous person. I remember being like, she's the secret villain. No?
yeah, I know, yeah, it must be that, yeah.
Yeah, it's Richard Madden. It was
Yeah.
Dickie M the whole time.
I thought it was like I thought we were doing a red herring with a swerve. So like we're supposed to think it's Druig, but it's actually because of Angelina Jolie's casting. You're like, oh no, but it's probably her. It's Druig's too obvious now. Okay, it's probably her. And no, it's Richard Madden. It's like, okay, yeah.
Thing is, the actor who plays Druig really like creeps me out. Very talented guy, but I've seen him play like 2 really creepy roles in a row. In Killing of a Sacred Deer. You ever seen that? You wouldn't like it.
fair enough.
No, you might do. I don't know. Do you like Lobster? The Lobster? film, The Lobster. You know,
I don't think I've seen it.
No, never mind then. But he's very creepy in that. He's also very creepy in a film called Calm with Horses. So when I see him, I'm just instinctively like,
Even
oh, I'm a
this,
bit creeped out.
it's a creepy leering element to him. So
Yeah.
Um,
But also, you know, it's supposed to be a bit sexy with him and Mercury. And
that's just
yeah.
awful.
Honestly, the whole of
When he's
Twitter
nudging her?
is shipping these two characters.
Yeah.
They did not interact enough for me to be like they are a couple who are in love.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, my God, these two,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
even that's the thing.
controversial.
So,
They're
we saw
definitely together.
We saw little bits like that of them clearly in the Mastanian time and stuff like that. And then they're on this ship now in modern day, and they're like, "Oh, what is this? Would you just what you noticed that the one who's not expressed any outward, obvious love towards Icarus, she's in love with him. You noticed, but you didn't know that these two have been flirting the whole last 500-700 years,
Well, Sprite.
Thousands of years.
thousands of years.
Oh yeah, so it turns out Sprite's another Vicarus.
Yeah.
We didn't mention that.
No,
Oh.
Yeah, well, I don't think we've even got to that bit where it's Kingo's just like,
No,
you do realise that these two are in love. Is it him who says that?
Yeah, so basically, they get Gilgamesh and Fina, right?
Yeah,
They
right.
go-
Yeah, let's go chronologically. in
Goes
the
get
film.
Druig.
Yeah, then they go. Oh yeah, so by this point, right? Cersei,
She's
has-
realised.
So Greg explained everything to her. So Greg was like, right, so here's the deal. Eternals, right? I sent you to sort out the deviants because I originally made the deviants so that species could flourish on planets to take out predators, but then they became the predators, so I made you guys. And why I need you guys to help the species flourish is because
Intelligent life
creates an energy
creates an energy.
that feeds baby Gregs,
Yes.
baby Celestials
Mm.
that are inside planets. So basically,
Who then build planets.
yeah,
So then one of them get put in one of those planets to destroy it. To then build planets.
yeah, it's like the circle of life.
Yeah.
So basically, the Eternals are there to ensure that Earth gets destroyed by the baby Greg the baby Celestial coming out. Patching.
Because this thing.
I must apologise for my sore throat. It was Liam's fault.
Literally this thing whose eye is the size of a planet
Yeah.
can't take out the deviants himself.
Well,
It's all convoluted convolution.
Literally,
Also,
at the end of we see him
it doesn't-
pull Cersei from
I
the
think I
planet.
explained it
and he can't
the
do it with the
opposite way
deviants.
to how he explains it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's basically
For
how
God's sake, Greg, explain it the right way round.
And it's just that thing of like revelation after revelation after,
Yeah.
and then so she keeps breaking the news to people, and they make a joke of it, but like it really annoyed me the way they keep being like, oh, what? So we're just like made by him? We're like robots, and oh yeah, here's the thing: they keep thinking they're going to go back to their home planet, but they never get called back to their home planet because there is no home planet.
Yeah.
They're just made
Also,
in a
the
lab.
big reveal. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were made
The list of
in a
reveals.
celestial lab. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just sort of like, what? So it was all a lie, and it was like, oh, and also the planet's going to be destroyed.
The way we've just described it is okay, but when they describe it and they reveal these things in the film,
Yeah.
it's like wading through so much script bullshit in such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just told to characters, mainly Cersei, by Greg.
Yeah.
And it's not a revelation.
No.
It's you can see something coming, like they were meant to let the world die. Was one of the first things that I was like, okay, it's probably about right.
Yeah.
I probably got to that conclusion just after they left London. That they just turned up. They're gonna be the quote unquote the bad guys. And especially when early on in the film, there was a few lines of dialogue that once they'd been said,
Yeah.
in my brain, I said the next line of dialogue, and then
Right.
they said it on the screen.
Yeah.
And I was just like, right, so if this is what is being said, this is probably what's going to happen. I'm not saying that I got all of the plot beats. I didn't, I didn't instantly know exactly everything in what order was going to happen, but you could just get that feeling from what was happening in the dialogue and what was happening in the story. You were just like, oh, get the band back together, and then it's going to be like, oh, we are the bad guys, or we're part of the thing that's creating this disturbance on Earth.
Yeah.
And you got to these other plot points, and it was just like it was melting my brain in a bad way because it was just delivered so badly
Right. Yeah.
that it was hard to just sit there and watch it, because if you know what's going to happen, but if you are not shocked at all by anything that's happening, or you're not driven to get to the next bit where I need to know the information, I need to know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Is this going to happen, like this conflict between characters? And I was just having none of it because everything prior was just so devoid of like any want to care.
Yeah. Oh fuck! We also forgot your man who made the plough.
Yeah, we've got the man who made the plough.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they go and get him.
So yeah,
Just Cersei and Thingy go get him, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they get him last. He is.
Yeah.
he is
Oh, wait.
Fastos.
Yeah, so
No,
Fastos,
just before, because
Mercury is.
Mercuri's
living on there.
been living on the ship, waiting to be called home,
Yeah.
which is just sad.
And
Which
just
is
like-
exactly what a speedster would do, not.
Yeah, and
But-
just
but-
accumulating stuff.
Yeah.
But-
Maybe she's
but how?
Hoarding things.
But here's the
maybe
thing.
She runs around so often that she's.
But
That quick? Okay, fair enough.
she's got food. She's got like bags of crisps and all that. That goes off. Right? She's got food. She's on the ship already. The ship that they pull out from under the ground. How
Makes
has she
no
been-
sense.
How has she been going to and from the ship?
as a cop, just around the corner.
Huh?
They've got a Tesco Metro inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing I can think of.
Mm.
They've got one of those things they have on Star Trek where you just put in
Oh,
the machine what
replicator.
you want. A replicator, yeah, that must be it. Literally, like, yeah, she's got like Cheez-Its or some shit. You're like, well, that's new.
Yeah, she's got generic product placement. Number
Foods,
5.
Yeah. Hey,
Twinkies make an appearance.
Yeah. Hey, IKEA.
Oh, I
Oh,
get
they
it.
make it, the joke that's in the trailer is just awful.
What's this vibrating? Oh, it's just.
But that's overlooking the bit where Icarus gets called a direct reference to another universe, the DC universe,
Oh, yeah, it's called Superman 12 times.
by a child.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. It's just he repeatedly does it. It gets really annoying. Yeah, and the child is Fastos' kid. Fastos has a husband. Oh, right. Fuck this film. Yeah, it's a horror, and fuck when this happens a few times. It's happened at least twice, right? This and the Wolverine. Yeah, right. A film not nearly as bad as X-Men Origins Wolverine, but not nearly as good as Logan, right?
Oh, no, I thought. Oh, yeah, okay.
Hiroshima, right? Yeah, right. Nuclear weapons being dropped on human beings, right? It's like one of the worst things that's ever happened. Yeah, not just Hiroshima, it's Nagasaki as well, was it?
Yep.
Yeah. So that, right? That being invoked for a moment in your fucking superhero film, fucking do one. Like, I'm sorry, I no.
So I know it happens in the Wolverine, but at least Wolverine doesn't have a direct link to it, or
He just
an
survives it.
indirect link
He's
to
just
it.
there and he survives it.
You shouldn't use it, but at least it wasn't like Wolverine's the one who dropped the bomb.
Yeah,
It's heavily implied that he's taking responsibility for the advancement of human weaponry
yeah,
to the point of nuclear annihilation, dropping 2 bombs on the Japanese during World War II. And he is literally like, I did this.
Yeah.
He physically says, I did this.
Yeah.
Not he made but, go up the chain, and he's like, but I started this, I did this.
Right.
That's too much.
Yeah.
You've gone too far.
Yeah.
That is pretty much the point where, and I'd heard about this scene online beforehand, because to be fair, I wasn't even really bothered about spoilers for this movie.
No.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to read a synopsis online.
Yeah,
I was just going to let the timeline wash over me.
Yeah. Like the dad from the beginning, who's happy to just let the celestial wash over him.
Yes. By wash over, you mean devour him extremely quickly. But yeah, it's maddening. It's maddening that this got past, any kind of check.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've already established that this is a first draft script and nothing else. But at least change that.
Yeah.
Just at least don't go there.
Yeah.
It didn't bring anything else. It didn't bring anything to the characters really.
No. Well, because here's the thing, right? I would still hate it if defined the character, because it's just incredibly bad taste as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
However, he's like, fuck people. I don't want anything to do with them anymore. Yeah. And then they go to his house, and he's very happily living with his husband and his son. Right. So at some point he's found love, and he's like, oh, actually, no, they're all right. It's like, oh yeah, nice one. You just invoked Hiroshima for fuck all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
They could have had exactly without Hiroshima bit. They could have had that bit where they're around the table and just made a reference to, like, I thought you gave up on humanity because of how awful they were with all the weapons. Just a general because of weapons, and any sane person like us will go, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, because it is awful.
Yeah.
We know the mention of weapon. You could say the word weapons.
Yeah,
and
you don't
we'll
have to
go-
be
and we'll
like
go-
nukes.
And
No.
we'll be like, actually, I can see why he would do that if he
Yeah.
felt responsible. Don't have an actual scene with him dressed as a Hiroshima, like how those scientists were. He literally had
Did he? I don't think he did.
he would look like a scientist from that time. Sort
He
of
had a
thing.
bow tie.
Literally had a bow tie, the wine glasses and stuff. It was like, it was very much like a. he looked like
I
a-
honestly didn't notice what he was wearing because I hated the scene so
yeah,
much.
it was awful.
And it was at this point where
I find bow ties very memorable, regardless, regardless of context.
Jesus. Regardless of context.
Even
Even in this
You
context.
find them what?
Memorable.
Oh yeah.
It's just a joke.
If
Thought you were dissing bow ties. I was gonna
if a
fight.
bow tie pops up somewhere, I remember it. That's just the way it is. But also, why was he? But so yeah, he's just.
Why was he there?
He's just sort of like weeping. It's like, so was he on the Enola game? Was like, can you drop me off? Can you, like, after you drop like Big Daddy or whatever they call
Can
it?
you circle back like 45 minutes later
Yeah.
and just drop me about 30 miles away? I'll walk from there. Don't
Yeah, and also Ajax is going to turn up and like hug me and say "Live, laugh, love."
worry. Oh my god. It's so distasteful.
It really is. Also, his powers, right? Sort of makes machines do stuff. I guess
He's smart
Using-
and he basically manipulates matter with his hands.
Right.
That's what I can gather.
He uses Stark tech.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
basically.
different.
Yeah. Space Star Trek.
Literally, his hand movements are non-differentiable from. They've literally gone. Oh, have you seen Iron Man? Yeah, have you seen him do the bits where he's doing? He's throwing bits away. Like, yeah, do that. Oh, but isn't this a different magic? Yeah, just do that.
yeah.
Edit that, and then.
But
we'll...
that's technology
bits-
and this is
He's
magic.
He's picking
Alien
that.
magic. It's like that. It's got to be exactly the same though, because that's what people recognise.
When it-
They still miss Tony Stark.
Yeah,
we have to
when he
mention him
takes
in
the orb
every
thing
movie.
out, he takes the orb out. There's bits where he's throwing bits of it away,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just
Fucking
literally just doing movement that he's doing Tony Stark movement like that. And I love that. I do love that computer tech sort of aspect because that makes sense to me. Magic.
why would he be doing that? So, yeah, you're right. Why would he be doing that same stuff? But he's from a planet billions of miles away, thousands of years ago, and he is doing that stuff when they're in Babylon. You know, when he obviously invents the plow instead of humanity. Because
Also,
we can't do anything.
No. Also, should be said, Kingo. His powers are finger guns.
Honestly, it's the
Oh.
dumbest thing
Yeah.
Jesus.
in a film.
Christ.
No, it's not the dumbest thing. It's one of the dumbest things in a film full of dumb things. Is the fact that he shoots like he's gesturing like a rapper.
Yes,
from the
it's
90s.
it's not point and shoot gun. It's he has to arc his arm like a fucking like gangster would fire a fucking gun. It has to go sideways and across like that to shoot. It's.
I mean, there is
stupid.
multiple times where he is just like that.
Oh, I didn't see.
No, he doesn't- he's not in Wanted.
Doing this,
No.
literally, it was like wanted shots and
No,
everything.
there's
And then
he's
suddenly-
just he is just using his powers are energy finger guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just down again, we go Dragon Ball Z, kind of like
Yeah.
energy
Making
ball in his
energy
hand.
orbs.
Right, hang on. Left out a bit.
I am hanging on.
Yeah, you hang on.
I am.
For dear life. So,
Like me trying not to leave this movie.
before they go to Fastos, the inventor guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Before they go to the
Tech guy.
tech guy, before they go to his house, they are in Driggs like shit little cult in the beautiful rainforest, and they have like some arguments with him, and they what's it
And
called?
he one by one berates them.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
yeah,
In a little
yeah,
church he's made.
yeah. I mean, he had plenty of time to make that look cool.
Plenty of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of time for it to just not be a little church set
Yeah,
like in the middle. I don't know. It's just terrible.
Yeah, look crap. Right, and so the deviants attack.
This time we see multiple
Yeah.
deviants. This is the first time in the movie I think we see multiple.
Yeah, maybe in the flashbacks.
Oh yeah, I mean
In the
like
modern day, yeah,
in prison day.
in the present day. Yeah,
We see that there's more than
And Gilgamesh gets it.
he dies. Yeah.
Yeah, and they take his.
the big one takes his powers.
Yep, and he becomes like sentient. Like, I mean, he becomes like he can speak.
humanoid,
basically.
yeah.
humanoid. He can
That
speak.
doesn't make sense to me why that happens.
Me neither, mate.
So the deviants. I mean, if you haven't sort of seen the film, if we describe the deviants, they look like bad CGI muscle dogs.
Yeah,
Mm.
or
Is an apt
or whatever
description?
animal they are. Like there's a wolf-looking one. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
I mean, they're all on all.
bird one.
There's that we find out later that they transform into those.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the usual
Oh, no,
ones
first of
from
all, yeah,
before,
yeah.
they are just like
Dogs,
CGI
yeah, yeah.
muscle dogs.
Yeah.
And terrible design. I don't like it.
No, me neither.
Looks really generic for
Yeah.
like a. These look even worse than the CGI throwaway army that Thanos has. Of the not xenomorphs.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Or the generic Chitauri.
yes,
Yeah.
they're even worse than that.
Yeah.
And there's less of them, but this bit where they go from these kind of mindless creatures into one of them who's taken at this point two Eternals powers.
Yep.
Can now walk on two legs, has a humanoid kind of stance,
yeah,
Yep.
has a head like a humanoid as
and
well,
a face. Yeah,
and a face,
Yeah.
eyes.
He
Although he
speaks-
has multiple, like he look, but the shape is there.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Nope.
Never explained.
Also, he should have just been that from the start. It would have been much more engaging. Not that he looks particularly good.
Have him the main deviant,
Yeah. But like just an antagonist that
Yeah.
speaks and has
Yeah.
a personality.
but he
rather than
transforms from one of the generic things, and then it's like, oh, he's the only one who's able to suck the powers of the Eternals.
just- Yeah.
Never explained.
No.
Never built upon, except for in the scene where he's able to give powers to other deviants.
He seems to give him some sort of like
from only having taken powers from
Ajax.
two or one
a
at that
time.
point.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling and just nonsensical on-screen bullshit.
Yeah. He just sort of basically it was. If you ever watched any of the old like Transformers cartoons, right? There's one where Starscream, right? puts Energon in like some old World War II vehicles, and he makes some new Decepticons. That's what it seemed like, except not as good.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone who's going to say the Transformers cartoon is like, oh, it really holds up, right?
It's high up.
Yeah. No,
it's not.
It was just like, it's some crap. Like,
Yeah.
this was.
It's
this
just
was
something to sell toys. He literally
Make some toys.
made some toys. But this,
No.
there was no like, oh, the deviants can evolve like humans or like
Oh, no,
animals.
He does Greg, when he's doing his exposition dump, he does say, oh, they evolve into predators.
Yeah, but right. But when you say evolve, you do think over millions of years.
Yeah.
And Greg didn't say, oh, but if it gets close to you, don't let it get close to you because it will suck your powers.
Yeah. Also,
and that's how it evolves.
If their mate puts his tentacle on them, they evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, though.
All bullshit.
All right, here's the thing. Something I did like in this film was Icarus, like how it was revealed that Icarus has killed Ajak. I thought that was nicely done.
What?
I don't know about that.
I thought that was I mean, not so much it was well executed, but I liked it in like concept.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
No, okay.
In concept, but not execution, or actually in execution as well.
I mean, execution was probably some of the better stuff in I thought was a bad film. But
Okay. I completely. I'm on board with you.
Does it
there.
give-
Concept thing like 100%. Yeah. I'm right. Yeah.
It gave some actors something to do.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it did make a slight swerve in like, oh, we're all together and we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously you've had Thena with her Thena Fever Dreams.
Yeah.
And
Her whimsies.
her whimsies, and
Which
you know,
get resolved after Gilgamesh dies.
yes,
So he was the problem.
Revenge,
never
Rick-
really referenced again until she has a fight with the
Deviant.
apex deviant. Let's put it that way.
Right.
She has, because when she is having her whimsies,
Yeah.
her face starts to like shimmer.
Right.
And her
Yeah.
eyes roll back, and
Yeah.
she has,
Yeah.
and that really only happens again when the celestial baby Greg is coming out of the earth,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that triggers it,
Right.
and that it's at that point where Fastos, he basically goes, God, bad timing that, you know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like, oh my God, at this point, like right now you got to do this.
Yeah.
And she has a one-on-one fight. We'll get to the finale when we get there. But yeah, that's the only other time that happens. Convenient for plot, obviously. But yeah.
Because bitches be cray, that's the message.
Yes.
Yeah.
When women lose their mind, you know, they lose their mind.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh,
all
but-
that's trying to say.
But
I think.
but her craziness is because she has I think her memory wipe didn't quite take.
Yes.
So she remembers a previous.
Like an upload or download not quite getting there.
Yeah.
You know, like 97%.
Yeah.
Like Mitchell's and Machines.
Hey, previous episode. Infinitely better film.
God,
God,
it's not even close.
God, I wish I
And
watched
that
it.
one was and that one was on Netflix.
Straight to Netflix.
This was a wide.
This was
theatrical
like
release.
I reckon a well over $100 million budget film.
One of the most advertised movies this year.
Yeah.
200 million was the budget.
Of course.
At least 25% of that was getting Angelina Jolie and Selma Hayek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well
done.
Yeah.
To agree to a role and not do anything.
Both of them were ferociously underplayed.
Yeah.
Massively. I mean, yeah. Fucking hell. I'm really filling up the swear jar on this episode.
Well, if we did have a swear jar, I think we'd be laying in money. So
Oh, I'd be broke.
yeah, we'd all be broke. It would
Yeah.
just be all on the floor.
Yeah.
But then, you know, would it be too much if we? What happens between that and the end? Like, I mean,
They fight.
Icarus
Oh,
is revealed to be the
So the bit
the antagonist.
He suits up,
he suits up.
and she goes like, "What?" Like Cersei's like, "What the fuck? Why have you put that blue suit on?" As if it's like significant,
Yes.
but it's not. He just has powers.
It doesn't change.
No.
Their suits don't help them at all.
No.
So there's no point in them.
But he's sort of like, "Oh, I ain't playing around no more."
She could just fight in her coat and beanie hat.
Yeah.
Goes in the room, reveals it's him. They work out it's him.
Well,
He kind of
they
attacks some
kind of
them.
work out that it's him who killed Ajak.
Yeah.
And then obviously the ominous music starts because obviously he's now the bad guy.
To be fair, score was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah. It's I think it's the same gentleman who did
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones and Westworld. Yeah.
I've seen him live, right?
Have you? Lovely.
Yeah, he performed like music from Game of Thrones at Wembley Arena, and there's one track in Game of Thrones. It really,
Ramin Djawadi.
yeah, talented guy. But there's a song in Game of Thrones, right? Or like a track when Daenerys like burns a load of like slavers or whatever, and it's the only song that has like electric guitar. And I remember watching it at the time and being like, "That's weird. It sort of doesn't fit in with like the general like vibe of the music." And then watching it live, I was like, "Oh, it's just so he can like rock out for a track."
Yeah.
Because he's sort of like conducting or like no, he doesn't conduct, but he does like plays various instruments throughout. And then he's just got that one track where he can sort of like run around like he's like Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin.
That's like for the Hans Zimmer concert. That's like the final song in Inception.
Yes.
I've seen multiple videos of Hans Zimmer playing music,
Yeah.
but he only looks happy when he's playing that track.
Yeah, with like Johnny Marr from the Smiths coming on,
And
doing, like,
he's
the
he's just like I rock.
yeah.
But also I do very like big orchestra type things. But I also like being an absolute fucking rock star.
Yeah.
So
Presumably though, I don't know what he's gonna look like if he ever performs music from Dune, where he's just gonna have like a terrifying choir turn up.
yes. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be like. I mean, it's a great soundtrack for the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has replayability at the Royal Albert Hall.
No.
So
No. It is music to freak out to.
yes, fever dream music.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
But-
So yeah, they.
God, I wish I
relatively
watched Dune
is-
again instead of this.
In it. Almost the same fucking length. It felt like.
Yeah.
Except Dune flowed really
Dune-
well.
Dune
It didn't seem that long.
Yeah.
This one didn't seem like it was ever going to end.
No.
God no.
I couldn't believe like how long we were into it, and I was like, I think we're only halfway through the fucking story.
Yeah. Well,
We've only met 3 of the others yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it reveals all like he basically says, "You get him away, I'll kill you all." Flies off.
Oh yeah, because Ajax like confided in him apparently
Yeah.
about what they're really all about, and that's
And he
why he
kills
left.
her.
That's why he left Cersei all the years ago, was because like she loves people. And,
And
he
at
was,
some point
He's like, we're going to have to let them go.
yeah,
and-
he's like, his plan was to get her off the planet before it happened. That sort of thing.
and so because the deviants did just rock up again, and so he did apparently want to like keep them safe from the deviants because the deviants were now after them. But he just set up Ajax to die because Ajax had decided.
Oh no, he basically helps the deviants show up again.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, but that's why he does it. He brings Ajax to them because they're nothing. They're not even a threat. They're just on that ice.
Yeah,
bit.
that's
They're
true.
not a
They
threat.
are just.
He feeds her to them.
Oh, so I think
because
I don't.
he
I
needs them
think
to distract those last 7 days.
yeah, okay, but I don't think he thought they could steal powers.
Yeah, I don't think he knew about
No.
that. So the polar ice caps are melting. So obviously
once
there was
again-
some trapped in the ice.
Yeah, once again, thanks for reminding us about global warming, guys. Like, sorry, I go to like, okay, I'm so fucking sick of that, right? Fucking Predators, yeah, Predators, that terrible, like, most recent Predator movie. They work in global warming into the plot. It's like either you don't care about global warming, which you should, and you just sort of like, oh, we're just gonna whack it in this film, or you think you mentioning it in your film,
Who's going to help?
yeah, ain't
In
doing
Predators.
either. Ain't doing either. And also,
No one went to see Predators.
yeah,
and thought to themselves, leaving the cinema, that they should probably get solar panels.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the message what they were getting from that film.
No, I think people just left that cinema thinking, "Can I get a refund?" You never know. Maybe it's like Greta Thunberg's. I'm not pronouncing her name properly. Maybe it's her favorite. Maybe that's her favorite movie. She's like changed my life, mate. Anywho, oh yeah. Also, if like the population thing, right? Because there's this hand wave where they say, "Oh, and that's why we weren't allowed to interfere with any wars, was because in war, like medical technology also advances, and that helps
didn't hear that.
population in the."
that
yeah,
right?
yeah, I said it. It might have been when you and Lou during like the sort of
Yeah,
riot.
they do. They say it. Yeah.
And but like the thing is, when Thanos wiped out half of humanity, well, all life, surely they could have, like, surely that was delaying Baby Greg.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So
Just
why
that-
didn't they
Yeah,
try and
it's all
stop
bollocks.
him?
Yeah.
Because they were retroactively retconned into this universe.
Yeah.
They said they
In a shit way.
Yeah, and like when
No
Loki
sense.
first rocked up,
Yeah.
and like basically every Avengers film,
Yep.
it would have made sense for
So
them to be involved.
with Loki in Avengers, he was basically gonna enslave all of humanity.
Yeah,
Which
would-
that wouldn't have helped.
no,
Age of Ultron, he was trying to.
he literally destroyed
He was
humanity.
Yeah.
literally about to destroy
was-
the planet.
he was-
Baby Greg and Cyan.
He was doing what the Deviants do in one move.
Yeah, but not even creating life, because it would have just been Ultron,
Yeah.
and Ultron's
Yeah.
just a robot.
yeah.
So it would just just no,
Yeah.
just don't make this film.
No,
But we live in a fucking timeline where they did,
yeah,
and it's just it makes zero sense, and it's just, and then you get to the end.
The bit with the mind meld thing.
Yeah,
where
we're getting
all gonna
to
go
the
together
finale.
and stuff like that. And the bit of the mind meld, the plan was awful because
Yeah.
the plan was right. We're all gonna mind meld
Hmm.
so that Druid can tap into its thing and put it to sleep.
yeah,
So it goes sleep a little longer, buy some time while we work out what to do. Okay, that.
Okay.
And then this way, and then because of the what's the Indian guy's called in this?
Kingo?
Kingo just fucks off, doesn't he?
Kingo. Oh no, but yeah, Kingo. No, but his reasoning for fucking off
Hmm.
isn't necessarily a bad one based on what he is.
Oh no,
It's-
it's not. No, I actually thought it
But
was like
they keep making him say it. He says it about 4 times.
Yeah.
So we can't kill the celestial baby Greg
yeah,
because by doing that we are preventing billions of others
Yeah.
being created. I'm like, shit. That is a dilemma. You can't just kill it.
Mm.
Okay, he's got a very point. So we'll put it to sleep while we work out what to do.
Mm.
Okay, that's cool. Put it to sleep. The whole thing is that right. Well, what we're going to do is he's going to come for the ship. Athena, you distract him by fighting him.
Icarus.
Icarus,
Yeah.
you fighting Icarus, and then we'll all channel our powers into Druig, and that will give him the boost he needs to think. Okay, cool. Soon as that kicks in, by the way, Athena, we're going to need you to tap into him, so he's instantly going to know what's going on.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll fly up, and then it looked like there was a shield around Druig, and I was like, oh, that's what they were doing. They were just buying enough time to get this shield up. No, it's not a shield at all. Just shoots him with the eye beams. He's done.
yeah,
Like flies out, and she smiles. She smiles, literally like a ha, done my bit, and he just flies out and goes, oh, bang, oh, okay.
he shoots him into the ground.
Doesn't even
Yeah.
get a chance
Yeah.
to tap into the Celestial's mind.
No.
He literally just goes shoots him, and then just shoots him into the ground, and he doesn't die for some reason.
Well, but he
'Cause,
also
plot
goes
armor. Plot armor. That's why.
He
Yeah.
also goes, Druid's gone. And I was
Yeah.
like,
No, he's not.
He's definitely not
isn't.
gone. Because
Didn't
plot
have-
armor.
Didn't have a close up.
He's about as dead as Gordon in Dark Knight. Come on, mate.
But
No,
yeah,
no
so
corpse.
the plan was distract him to the point of where it wasn't worth distracting him.
Their plan was just the. It was just.
I don't know what
It
it was.
just didn't. It
What was
didn't
the
make
diversion
sense,
for?
and then it just failed instantly.
Yeah, although it does lead to the best part of the film. So Sprite, because as Kingo explains, is in love with Icarus.
Oh, the Peter Pan analogy.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
Oh, that Peter Pan analogy. Like, It
Is
didn't need to-
Tinkerbell in
again,
love with
it was
Peter
just the
Pan?
problem with the dialogue. Yeah,
No,
yeah, no, very famously.
Oh, right, okay.
And very famously cannot be with him because she's a pixie. And he's
Yeah,
a
fair enough.
boy,
Okay, yeah, okay.
But
There's ways.
I
there's
just thought it was
ways-
weird.
There's ways around.
and to be honest, when I say very famously, it's one of those ones where adults have gone back on the. It's a child's book, so no. But people have gone back and then analysed that
Yeah.
relationship.
So basically, it probably wasn't the author's
Probably
main
not, no.
intent,
no, I think she was just a little.
but
bit-
people were just like, "Oh, I've seen you've written this line here,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's what someone
Well,
who's in
Tinkerbell
love with
was
someone can't
definitely
actually
just-
be with them."
Tinkerbell
Who would
was definitely
say?
just jealous, not a grumpy little bitch. No,
I
no,
mean,
she was a grumpy
I've,
little bitch.
you know, I couldn't possibly comment. I've never read Peter Pan, but you know, in that Disney film, she's gagging for it, isn't she? Hey,
She's what?
she's gagging for it, mate.
Which one?
You know,
The animated one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. That was definitely the intent of Walt Disney Studios. No subcontext.
No.
Just actual context.
Yeah, 100%.
If only she could talk.
Also, with this voice, I shouldn't say things like gagging for it. It sounds so much more sinister. What have you done to me, Liam? Passing on this cold. Anywho, so best part in the film, Sprite has sided with Icarus. Icarus is off fighting the super
Because
fast
she's
one.
purely, really, because she's in love with him.
Also, I think she explains that she wants a memory erased because she'll forget about.
I think she thinks also that she might get reset herself. So she
Oh,
won't be a child. That was just purely my again. Having an interpretation of this film feels as empty as anything ever.
oh, actually, another annoying thing before we get on to the very best bit of the film. Really annoying. Ajax, right? So at some point, since she disbanded the Eternals, she's decided that actually I like people. I want to save them. However, she leaves it. Why Ajax kills her?
I know what you're about to get onto.
Okay.
So Sam and I actually worked out how long she knew
Okay.
that they would have to destroy the Earth to give birth to baby Greg.
Yeah.
And how long she had
And
to
how
doubt-
long she
doubted.
Yeah.
Because-
So you're about to say that she left it to the last 7 days to change her mind on humanity after
Considering-
seeing so many things
And
about
considering
humanity.
Babylon is basically the mark that she's not following Arisham anymore.
Greg.
Yeah, it's not
Greg.
Greg. Catch it. It's
Not
Greg.
following Greg anymore. She wants them to go out, live in the world. She's taking this mission into her own hands. Babylon, at the end of the Macedonian thing, 1500s or whatever it was. That's whatever. I can't remember the time.
No, it
period
was
now.
Babylon was
Babylon was before
long time before
the bit
that.
where she dismisses them all when Druid leaves.
Yeah.
That's when she realizes, actually, I've got some doubts about this mission.
Okay.
So
How many days?
she basically had 1,000,000
Right.
825,000 days and left it to the last 7. So
was
she
gonna do
had
something about
nearly 2 million days. It is just the purest definition of leaving your homework to the last minute.
Yeah.
So for all of that time, when she had all of this information,
Yeah.
nearly 2 million days, and in the last 7 days of Earth,
Yep.
she was like, I think we should change this.
Yeah.
I think we should not go ahead with it.
Yeah.
Mental.
That's
Crazy.
2 million days of going. Oh, do you know what, next week?
Yes. That's putting it off to the last minute.
Yeah.
To the very extreme.
Yeah.
Also, we made the point of, out of all of the Eternals, she's literally their mother. She's their commander. She's their mother. She knows them in some ways better than they know themselves.
Live, laugh, love.
Icarus would not be the one she told. You do not tell the valiant, loyal to the cause,
Loyal to the
soldier
mission.
that you're having doubts. You would tell Cersei
Because you
would
choose her to-
tell
Quote
Like,
unquote, you chose her.
Druig, the one who literally was defying you at one point and you now agree with,
Yeah.
he'd be the one you go to and express this to.
You go to everyone but Icarus with
Not
this information.
You do not tell Icarus. And
You know why though?
Plot.
Well, he's bloody dreamy.
That's true.
I'd tell.
Does he have grey in his hair? Does he have
yeah,
like a
there's
grey
a
streak?
whiff of grey, yeah.
That might be
Is
real.
that might be real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd tell Richard Madden anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, anything.
you'd look in those eyes just before he absolutely obliterates you with them.
Right before they turn yellow and just laser me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tell him the valuable piece of information he's looking for.
Yeah. Before he throws me off a cliff to some wolves.
to some deviants.
Yeah. Oh fuck. He really. Yeah. She falls quite away. doesn't
Also,
She does, yeah.
doesn't she handle herself quite well in the
Yeah.
fight?
There's a shotgun on the floor. Are we just not going to talk about that?
No, sorry. That bit she doesn't handle herself quite well. Jump back where she is doing some fighting in the previous. I think when they arrive, she's in the fight. No, she's not in that fight. She's in a fight maybe with outside
Babylon.
outside Babylon. She takes on some pretty bigger deviants than them and more of them. There's 3 really mangy looking ones, and they take her out before the other one even comes out.
I don't
Before the
remember.
big one comes out.
I couldn't.
I don't remember that. I don't think she was. I thought she was just chilling in the temple in Babylon.
Yeah.
No, I thought. Oh, does she come out? I
Yeah.
swear you see
I
her
think you're
fight.
talking about Thena.
You see her fight? No, you're.
No,
swear you see her
she
fight.
she's just chilling in
No,
Babylon.
because she's fighting Thena.
Oh yeah, when Feeny goes mental.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They have a
In
dust
that
up.
bit, yeah, that's
Thena
big
was
difference.
definitely a harder match than 3 of those mangy little dogs.
Yeah.
I don't care how. I know
Yeah,
they're
but
bad
shit,
bits.
so
yeah,
that
but
big four
you
for Cliff,
forget
though, innit?
plot.
plot
So-
armor.
Plot has to happen, so
Plot.
she has to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to go back to it. There was just a random shotgun
Yeah.
on the
Why
floor.
was there a
I don't
shotgun?
remember that.
I know it was near a mining village.
Oh,
You know,
but
where
it's-
the
they ate
ice
all
had
the
melted.
miners. They ate all the miners.
Yes, but why was...
And they were
She just
clearly
finds a
eating
shotgun
something.
on the ice.
Yeah.
There's
So
no
what-
dead bodies or anything.
So what I reckon happened was they because they can swallow people whole, as established in the opening scene. They have swallowed a shotgun wielding man, and then they can't digest it. At some point, it comes out whole like sweet corn.
Nice.
Yeah. So
So shotgun sweet corn is just laying on the floor.
yeah.
And she just like picks it up and starts shooting. She knows what the deviants are.
Yeah.
She knows that that's not going to affect them.
No.
Does it anyway.
Yep.
Terrible. What is this film, and why are people not just rejecting it? Like, it's just
I think
crazy.
it's because people realise when they watch this that the truth will set them free.
Oh god. Signing the truth shall set set them free.
Yeah.
So
Is top of there's the cherry on top of the cringe sundae.
Yeah.
That is the sayings and just cliches on top of cliches on top of cliches. We haven't even. We'll get to the very end, which again was a terrible cliche callback to history, mythology. Sorry,
Bloody hell! I've realised I got distracted from talking about the best bit.
go
Sprite,
back to it. Yeah,
Sprite. Yeah, she is on the side of Icarus. Cersei. At one point, she turned Deviant into a tree. So like, oh, you can do stuff to like living people now, living things. And she's like, she's running over to the volcano that Baby Greg's coming out of to like, try and do something. Sprite distracts her with like a ghost of Ajax and then stabs her, and and then it's like it all seems lost. And out of nowhere, you see her get whacked in the head by Druig. He comes out of nowhere, whacks her in the head, and I laughed. And then the reveal that he's holding a fucking rock in his hand. So he has just brained this girl right in the back of the head.
this child.
Yeah, and I
Essentially.
laughed so hard. And Druig instantly became my favourite character. And I just thought every time it cut to him after that, I wanted him to be like brandishing the rock. I think he sort of holds it and then like chucks it.
He chucks it
Yeah.
so nonchalant, and
So
it's just
fun.
like that's all it takes to take down an Eternal.
Yeah.
Not kill, but take it down.
Yeah.
It's just a swift rock to the head.
Yeah, and I just
So very anticlimactic.
I just want him to pop up in many other films, just whacking people with the
Well,
back
he's
of
going
the
to be in the Batman. So I'm guessing he's going to be bludgeoning Robert Pattinson's Batman with as many rocks as he can lay his grubby hands on.
Yeah. Right.
So-
So that guy's coming the Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, do they confirm what role? Or?
No. Rumors Joker.
ooh.
I kind of hope not, just because I just feel like
Don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
Never too many Jokers.
I mean, Joaquin Phoenix has just done a fantastic outing as Joker.
Well,
Do we need
he's
to
done a
keep doing
fantastic
more?
Killer. He didn't need to be the Joker.
That's for another podcast.
Yeah.
So you know,
I don't know.
bludgeoning with
We
rocks.
don't really need another Batman. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it's just
Yeah.
He's never going to be.
get it, yeah.
You're never not going to be. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know. You know what? They're all going to be the Joker.
Well, I mean, we're gonna do. Yeah, they're all gonna be the Joker. Him, not Will Ferrell, Colin Farrell. Will Ferrell as the Joker.
Will Ferrell as Joker. Will Smith as the Joker.
You know, Colin Farrell. You know, Pharrell Williams.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to be in the Batman. I've heard the runtime's about 3 hours, so everyone's going to be in the Batman.
Is it really gonna
and
be 3
everyone
hours?
except for Robert Pattinson and whoever's playing Alfred, Andy Serkis.
Yeah. Who's also playing the Batmobile
obviously.
and Gotham City skyline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's playing everything that's CGI.
Yeah.
Alfred. You got Robert Pattinson as Batman,
Yeah.
and then everyone else is the Joker.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So yeah.
the finale for this, and you have Thena take on the main deviant,
Oh yeah. He rocks up.
and he acts as if he knows her.
I think because he's got well, I'm assuming he's got Gilgamesh's memories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Possibly
Some
Ajax as
sort-
well.
Yeah. he
And they
does.
have a CGI fight in a cave.
Yep.
Which has no gravitas because
No.
I don't care about either of these characters.
Yeah. Also, there's a bit where I think Druig says to her, "Oh, vengeance won't bring you peace," and she's like, "Killing him might." It's like, well, I think that's what he meant by vengeance.
Yeah.
Also, that line is taken from another film, surely.
Is it?
Well, it must have been. Well, it's so cliched. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's literally that. Yeah. It's one of those.
I
lines.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's taken from another film. I feel like it's just to try and characterize Thena as so one-dimensionally into that kind of action,
Yeah.
revenge thrill.
Right.
You know, like, that's her thing. She's McStabby.
She is McStabby.
So for her to disregard, you know, what words mean, shows that she is just really into stabbing. You know, I feel like that's just what that is for.
Unless she was planning some sort of elaborate revenge where it's like nothing's gonna go right for this deviant guy. I'm gonna send some embarrassing photos to all his email contacts, and then he was like, "Oh, that's not gonna bring you peace." And she's like, "You're right. I'm just gonna stab him up instead. Me, McStabby.
Me, McStabby, famous McStabber.
McStabby investigations." God damn it, McStabby! You stabbed the main suspect again.
Those stabs are against regulation.
Stab this
Give us your stabbing knife and your badge.
and the stabbing badge.
But she has a terrible CGI fight
Yeah.
in the cave, and
Yeah.
just no one cares.
No.
And this is all happening whilst the other people, the other Eternals,
Are
are doing
subduing-
something quite important, like not like trying to save the Earth.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
fighting Icarus. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this is
subduing
really
Icarus.
kind of tacked on.
yeah.
Is the best way
I
to
guess it's
describe
because
it.
it's like, oh, we've got Angelina Jolie in the film.
She'll want her own fight sequence,
Yeah.
surely, not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
with everyone else over
No.
there. That'd be lame. She'd just get caught up in all that.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll create an alpha, an apex deviant.
Mm.
She can just fight her or him.
Yeah.
It's not
They.
So.
Yeah.
So they and it happens.
Mm.
You know, just when you think that she's been defeated, she cuts the thing in so many pieces,
Mm.
like what's his name from Resident Evil?
Oh, Colin Salmon.
Yes,
Or Salmon.
she Colin Salmon's the alpha apex deviant,
Yeah.
and that's that.
Yeah.
We get no explanation as to why it can suck out the powers of Eternals.
Yep.
Why they evolve in this way. And why do they look so terrible? I mean, just none of these questions will actually probably ever get answered.
No.
I'm hoping because there won't be a sequel.
Oh, they told us the Eternals
She said the Eternals will return at the end of the movie.
They did, yeah, they did,
God,
yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this I blanked out.
Them and Harry Styles and
Oh, we haven't even got into
we'll
that
get
bit.
there,
We
we'll
haven't
get
even
there.
got into that.
Hang, hold that one.
Yeah,
We'll
hold
get
that
there.
thought for like one hot minute.
So yeah, wrap up. So
Let's wrap- yeah,
let's
let's
wrap
wrap
up
this,
the
yeah,
last bit. Get to so he they're doing Icarus really well in a very like what looks like, considering they're all supposed to be pretty much the same power level. So by rights, that
Except
scientist
Icarus got
guy's
more powers.
powers should have subdued Icarus with ease, and then it shouldn't be a problem because it didn't look like he was having much of a problem holding him either. There was no strain, and then Icarus has one power moment and goes ah,
Yeah.
and
It was like, I really need to
breaks
break out at
Yeah.
some point,
Yeah.
but I'll do it when it's dramatic.
What's the equivalent? What would this be? It wouldn't be plot armor. It would be like plot
Plot strength?
powers, plot
Yeah,
powers,
yeah,
plot
yeah,
strength,
yeah.
plot powers. So
Plot
plot
powers.
powers means he breaks out, goes and catches Cersei, goes to kill her, and then
can't do it.
realizes because of her immense plot armor
Mm.
that he loves her.
Sam, it's not armor, it's love.
Love is love is the reason why.
Us being an audible media, you didn't just see me dry vomit. And I
didn't
tried
hear
to hold,
dry
and I
vomit,
did it
mate.
I did it off camera. I dry vomit in my mind.
You don't dry vomit because
You didn't see my face expression of dry. Whatever,
Dry heave.
dry heaved. Whatever, dry heaved internally with my facial expression.
But you know,
Fucking love.
it's hey, you know, because really, this film's about family.
And love and love. No, this is romantic love. This isn't even family love. This is one person makes me. Anyway,
it's just he's been fighting this whole time.
yeah.
And just it's like, you know, when like Superman goes drops on the earth and he's just standing there, and then it's just like Cersei's doing her thing. I believe she is killing it. She is
Oh no,
killing
sorry,
Baby
yeah.
Remo.
So basically,
I
they
guess so.
decide in the end, even though Druig is still alive, he won't be able to do the
Oh, yeah, he
thing
goes,
that they
"Oh, I can't
originally
do this."
planned. Can't do it. I can't do it. No reason why.
Yeah,
Like he's still
Yeah,
alive.
yeah,
He
yeah.
can still get. She gets the power up that he
Yeah.
was gonna
They can still mind
mind
meld.
mode, all that. That's what she gets.
Yes.
But instead, he goes, "I can't do it. You're gonna have to do it." And then the thing they kept very emphasizing that because I don't think I'd even have thought of it maybe on my own. Like, oh, surely if they kill this, they're preventing billions. No, they made sure they've made this very clear. They just fucking kill it.
Yeah. Also, me and Sam
An
had this
innocent being,
discussion before.
essentially.
right.
Them potentially creating billions of worlds is not a good reason to destroy what does exist.
No.
So
Well, that's the idea, though, isn't it?
I know that is the idea, but potential doesn't equal what they say. Like, it doesn't mean necessarily that these all will exist and all will be peaceful, and for you to then sacrifice what actually does exist. I'm like, don't sacrifice what does exist for just they might make some solar systems.
Well, but that is like, that is why they're the villain.
Yeah, I know. But
at the same
I'm just
time-
like when
it
you're
was-
like, oh, I have to make a choice. Well, what exists, you make that choice.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
what exists is
I've been okay with that.
is the choice.
But my problem with it though is that they
Well, no,
emphasise on the other
he's
side
a
of it so
company
much.
man.
I know.
It should, but they made such an emphasis that if you kill this thing, you are preventing the potential
Present-
existence
yeah.
of something. So I thought the whole mission was they were trying to figure out a way to get the Celestial out of the Earth without destroying the
Without
Earth.
killing it. Without
They very
killing
much
it
made
and-
that was the plan.
and the Earth.
And you thought it was going to be planned because they kept going, yeah, that's good because we can't just kill it.
Well, she could.
And then they just fucking kill it.
Well, she turns it into like a stone. She could turn it back.
No, I think it's dead.
I'm pretty sure it's dead.
I think it's like being frozen. If you're you don't live that process.
Also, spoilers, it turns into Avengers headquarters.
Does it actually?
Yeah, in the comics.
Oh,
So that's literally what they're going to go for.
I see.
So,
Right, okay.
and I mean, the whole thing is that they live in they build a headquarters in the body of a dead celestial.
It's very distasteful.
that's
Very
so
distasteful.
odd. It's not very Avengy.
No.
It's
Well,
more,
you know, because
if Magneto started his country on the back of it like that, or Doctor Doom's like secret
Uses it
lair or
somehow,
island is in it, it's off the shore of it. That makes a
Hmm.
bit more sense to me, but it's not very Avengers like, oh guys, thought of a brilliant location for the new headquarters. It's like, oh, what, like somewhere like really rural, like middle of Australia, or somewhere really away from everything. No, it was one of those like really nice islands that if you own Stark, maybe there we can build ourselves. No, there's a dead celestial just off of thing. These guys apparently that everyone knows about, everything to do with history ever happened to them. They sorted something out a few months back. Just yeah. It's a bit dark, Stark, isn't it? Like building dead, like it was alive once. Yeah, it's not now. It's stone.
It's in a Carcassonne building.
What?
What?
It's still
I'm
like-
gonna build a lab in its
Do we
fucking
know the-
spleen.
I mean, it's a celestial. Is it? Do we know if it's stone? Is it actually dead? Ah, it's stone.
It's fine. We'll just put all of the Earth's mightiest heroes inside. What can go wrong?
Anyway, so yeah, they stop it.
She
They
uses
kill
power
it. So they spend the whole
used
film
power
saying
of-
we can't kill it, and they kill it.
They spend 2.5 hours saying they can't kill it,
And
and
they
then
kill
they
it.
kill it.
They kill it.
Alright, I tell you what, right? That's another point in what you call it, for Ragnarok's favour, right? Now, pretty much every film, here's what happens, right? Can't beat this bad guy. Oh no, I can. I just need to believe in myself. For Power of Love, right? For Ragnarok, I can't beat this bad guy. He actually can't. He has
Yeah.
to destroy Asgard.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subversion of expectation that we like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Thumbs up.
This. No.
This. No.
No, no, no.
So anyway, yeah. So
For
they
Ragnarok,
prevent
yes,
it.
yes.
Blah blah. Icarus in that moment realizes you can't kill her. Instead of a redemption arc or flying off into space, he realizes his only choice is to fly into the sun.
Alright, well, here's the thing.
Because his crime was he killed a general that was generally going to kill the planet, then decided last minute they didn't want to. That's his
Very last
only
minute.
crime up until this point, really. You can argue that his actions led to Gilgamesh getting killed, but I mean, at some point there's a certain level of he'll have a certain level of accountability for that and should atone for it. But he didn't kill Gilgamesh. He killed Ajax. But
Quite
she, at
sadistically.
the same time, spent thousands of years sitting on this plot to destroy the Earth. She wasn't the best person. She just decided last minute she was going to be an okay person. That is his
Very
only crime. Loki killed 80 people in 3 days. Just in the Avengers thing. But
but
we
to-
love Loki now, and he's a good guy.
No, to be fair, you are touching upon something that really annoys me. See, I'm all for him flying into the sun until I realise why he did it. See, I'm really not a fan of this whole sort of like, if a character's got piffy enough dialogue, keep him around, don't matter what he does. Anyone can be redeemed. I'm not a fan of that, right?
Okay.
You know,
Nebulas, yeah.
yeah. No, I'm not a fan. There's exceptions, but generally I'm just sort of like, oh yeah, but they're a murderer, like fuck them.
I'm guessing Darth Vader falls under that rule.
Well, yeah, like he dies. You know, he sacrifices himself, right? That's the only way you can really redeem yourself when you're that fucking bad.
When
You
you're
know?
that deep in the red.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? There's no sort of like, oh, you had a few bad years there. Do you know what I mean? Anywho, and I was all for him flying into the sun, mainly because not enough films have someone flying into the sun. Then I realised why he is flying into the sun is because his name is Icarus, and fuck that.
Oh,
so
shit.
so on the nose.
It's
I don't know if
in
I
the
like that or
cliche
dislike it.
in the cliche Sunday.
Yeah,
That's just under the cherry of the truth shall set them free.
yeah.
And
Shit.
oh my god, when it was happening, I couldn't believe my eyes.
I mean,
because I was just
I
like,
loved it at the time.
at the time.
Yeah, well, not in the way of like, oh, it's so moving. I mean, like, he's flying into the sun. This is fucking mental.
Yeah,
Right?
it is a bit mental because
Yeah.
you're like, is he gonna die?
Yeah, yeah.
You might
yeah.
be like, he might not actually die.
Yeah,
think
I know it's the sun, but they're
devi-
Eternals.
The
Yeah, yeah.
deviant,
And plot,
the deviants
so-
could literally bite him to death, so he's definitely dead.
Okay.
Oh, they can't though. They were like stabbing him up with the tentacles, and he was fine.
And no, but only because they didn't stab him up enough with the tentacle.
Yeah.
Do you know
Because
what?
of his-
Didn't stab
'cause
him
of his-
enough with tentacles.
Because of his power plot armor. That's what.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? At the end of the day, Jamie Foxx's Electro and Rhys Ifans' like Lizard are coming back. So yeah, Icarus will be back.
Yeah. Yes. So a man flying into the sun is not the end of his.
Not anymore.
Is not the end of the world.
Well, as they say, as the old saying goes, flying into the sun is merely the beginning.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
But
I hope
anyway.
not.
that's what my nan always used to say.
So,
But
yeah. So he flies into the sun.
He flies
that's
into the
him
sun,
done.
and it's because he's named Icarus, and they reference
It's
the
a story
story.
Sprite made up.
Yeah,
apparently.
God, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
No.
He
But-
doesn't actually have wings either. I know.
No.
I know.
Oh, he
Well, let's not
flies,
get into
yeah.
that. We're way past that part of the film.
Yeah.
So in the end, they kill the thing they said they shouldn't kill for 2.5 hours.
Well, is
Um,
it dead? Who knows?
I believe it is because
yeah.
honestly, just having a celestial like half out of the Earth
Yeah.
that size
Yeah.
and still even having the opportunity to be alive,
Hmm.
that I would just be like, right, time for me to evacuate this planet.
Which, oh, by the way, there's a bit where they go, "Oh, we should evacuate this planet," and they're like, "Oh, we can't do that. Like, they're not. Their technology isn't advanced enough." It's like, I mean, I've seen these other Marvel films. I know there's loads of spaceships knocking about. They're like, don't pull that. Don't try and pull that on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you believe that Celestial's dead, right? I believe that the truth will set us free.
We'll set baby Greg free.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Watch. Oh my god.
So
Oh.
yeah. So anyway, that bit happens. Main arc over finally, and then it goes to a little while after, I guess, and it's Cersei
Oh.
chatting.
We forgot.
Oh, okay.
There's a bit where, they all kind of regroup after what went down.
Yes.
And Cersei turns to Sprite, and Sprite's all like, "Oh, I'm a bit sheepish because,
I tried to kill one of you.
yeah, and you brained me with a rock." Cersei goes, I've still got a little, like, sort of power surging through me. I reckon I can make you human. You up for it?" And she's like, "Am I?" And, they, like,
Horrible.
they, like, touch hands or something, and she's like, "Oh, I'm a human. I'm going to grow old."
She expressed once a want to grow,
Yeah.
which is understandable
Yeah.
because the Celestials made her that way, that she can only be a child.
Yeah, Greg made her like a preteen on a whim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously, there is a shot about halfway through some of Greg's revelations that shows them that they are basically built in like celestial lab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like loads of them, different heights, different races,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And yeah, he was just like, one of them can be a kid, but forever.
Yeah.
Um,
He watched Interview with a Vampire. He was like, "Oh,
honestly, it is kind of like torturous. I can understand where you'd want to be like, I would like to grow older,
yeah,
but also I feel like now on Earth there's so many superheroes that she would just be accepted if it came out and she was like, we're the Eternals, we are like beings from outer space,
yeah,
not really gonna rock the Earth because the blips happened.
yeah."
And
My
Thanos.
mate, my mate here, he built the plow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's going wild for it.
No.
They'd be like, right, okay, it's also a Tuesday. So she would be accepted in society as a superhero
Well, but here's the thing.
that doesn't grow
But
older.
here's the thing.
Yeah, which
Right.
couldn't ever
They
do
make
adult stuff.
they make it quite clear that she wants to
Yeah, that's
Right, okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
They
Okay.
very much that's.
It's as
that.
uncomfortable
I think I blacked it out at that point. I did not remember that.
It's very much-
I blocked
as,
that out my
it's
brain.
as uncomfortable as me implying it with this croaky
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's-
So they basically are like, she wants to grow old because she wants to have
Yeah.
relations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I think she's
And that's
gonna.
kind of creepy.
I think she's gonna regret her choice.
Yeah, and then Cersei gives her
Yeah.
the ability to grow, and then the first
right.
thing she does is get addicted to phones and go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, God, and you've lived for 7,000 years, and
Yeah.
you're going to compare that to the crap that teenagers are going through now.
Yeah.
That must be horrible.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like she, as soon as puberty really hits, she's just gonna be like, "No,
Take me back!
Yeah, yeah,
Take me back!
100%.
Oh God.
Yeah, I feel like what should have happened is she's like, "You're human now," and then fucking Druid just brains her again out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then they have Cersei is with
Kit
Kingo.
Harington.
Yeah, well, Kit
Professor
Harington,
befuddled.
Mr. Dane comes back from the first 5 minutes
Wait,
of
did
the
you
film.
say his name's Dane?
Yeah.
Dane Whitman? You mean everyone's favourite character, the Black Knight? Oh my god!
Such a reveal.
Yeah.
So that she's with Dane, who you may remember from the first 5 minutes of the film.
And the little bit where he's on
On the phone,
he's on
yeah.
a video call. with
Oh,
her.
on a video call where some exposition happens. I don't even think I really want to go into that. Yeah, and then so he is like in so much marketing material
Yeah.
for this movie
Yeah.
that he's in. I'd say just under 10 minutes of it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
And do the whole.
they're having their next awkward first draft Love Actually chat.
And you still can't turn me into a giraffe.
That's not the callback you want.
And about moving in together.
Again, she's telling you about what's just happened to her, and her whole worldview has
Yeah.
been changed, and you're cracking jokes about her still being a wizard, like
Yeah.
actually being a wizard.
But also, her worldview, regardless of it being changed, is like incomparable with yours.
Yeah,
Here's the thing, right? He's like, I don't care what you are, like, I love you, you know.
Oh, that was
And
horrible.
here's the thing, right? I mean, I wear my heart on my sleeve, right?
Yeah.
If I found out a lady, even if she was as beautiful as like Gemma Chan is, if I found out a lady I was very much into was 7,000 years old, had the power of a god, and would like never age, I reckon I'd be like, do you know what? Like, it's just a bit much for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nah.
What
it's
happens
just
when-
out of my comprehension.
What happens when
Yeah.
I grow old?
Yeah.
Well, they another
So we didn't even
of many throwaway lines. They do another one of those. It's like, he's gonna get old and die. It's just like, yeah, I know that, Sprite. Like, but also, maybe they should have that conversation rather than Sprite just being like, he's gonna die in a
what's his
bit.
name?
You know?
Science, the tech guy.
Yeah.
Did we establish that he's going to outlive his son?
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
And
sure.
he's still
They-
completely involved in
They
that.
had another throwaway line where is
Icarus.
it?
Ask if it's his.
No. I think Sprite says it again. I think she's just like,
That kid's dead, yo.
you're gonna outlive both of them, and he's just like, yeah, I know. Yeah. He just like shrugs it off, like, oh well, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when they're dead.
Yeah,
just-
literally, we'll cross that bridge when they're dead.
They're just like,
We'll cross that bridge made of their corpses.
All that kept coming into my head.
Which
Is
I will make with my tech bag.
all that kept coming into my head is literally Theon's line from Lord of the Rings. No parent should ever live out their child. That literally every time it was just like a throw. I'm thinking he's gonna outlive his son. Okay, and then the logic kind of kicks in, like, okay, he's eternal. You start living people. Not your kid.
Yeah,
like
not
no
your baby
parent should
boy.
ever live their child. And I was like, that's
No,
fucking
yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
It's just why even give him? I get
but the
showed
fact that
oh.
they just quip it like like Marvel
It's the worst.
do.
It's the worst character to do the gay family with.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, great, but there's so much tragedy beyond
Yeah,
that horizon.
so much action.
there are
tragedy.
there are
Yeah.
other characters that aren't eternal.
No.
Mm.
Yeah, there's
Or-
so many.
or-
other characters they could not have the unfortunate implication of.
Or find a way to fucking write in a way in that he turns human at the end or something.
Yeah.
And he's done.
Yeah, no. What if
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, I don't want to outlive my sweet baby boy. Could you please
Make me human.
Make me
Yeah.
human too. Or like,
Or like not immortal.
yeah.
Yeah. They don't necessarily make them human.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not
yeah.
human,
It's
they're like-
not,
Oh, yeah,
it makes
maybe
it so they
that's
can grow
Celestial
old.
Yeah, so still
robot
have
lab
some-
creatures.
Yeah.
They
so
still
still
make
be-
so they can grow old and
She'll
age.
still
yeah.
be superpowered, wouldn't she?
But yeah, so oh fuck.
And then they go up to
I've got a
Primrose
complicated
Hill.
past.
Um,
that line about
yeah.
Dane
Oh,
being
because
that
no,
complicated.
because that's,
The family,
yeah,
complicated family lineage.
Yeah.
I had no idea what he was talking about until you
well-
explained it to me.
Sam, it's Black Knight. Everyone loves Black Knight. Everyone in the cinema cheered. 'cause,
God's
like,
sake,
we all
Sam.
know it's Black Knight.
Black Knight sold dozens of comic books.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
Yeah, Black Knight has had like
In the
Tens of comic books have been sold.
And most of them in the last couple of days when people want to find out who the fuck Black Knight
yeah, I know.
but
We said
Can you
this when we
imagine?
came out, when it was just like, I said it. Sorry, when you have to Google,
Yeah.
these aspects of your films,
is. The reveal.
you Marvel.
Mm.
Kevin Feige thinks that this is a massive reveal, like Thanos at the end at the end of Avengers.
Yeah,
But if you have to Google what the fuck's just happened in your scene, it's a failure.
yeah,
And the fact that they had the voice of Blade, and you don't see Blade in a movie, in a talkie, is just complete garbage.
All right, look, all right. MCU, they're still getting used to the talkies, Liam.
Yeah,
They've not gotten their head around the format yet.
yeah. There's still a guy at the front of each Marvel film
Yeah.
prior to probably the Phase 4
Yeah.
that still plays the piano.
Yeah, and to be fair, the guy on this in our screening played some sweet piano.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh fucking hell. Yeah, so Dane Whitman is he's a thing.
Black Knight, a British superhero
I mean,
And
just
that I am very not excited for.
can you just imagine, right? The guy who updates the Black Knight, Marvel's Black Knight Wikipedia page. Yeah, he's just like, you all said I was crazy.
You all thought he wouldn't be in the MCU. Look at me now, Ma.
Before the Fantastic Four and X-Men even come into existence.
Fucking hell.
So yeah, and then just when we think everything's honky dory and happy, Greg shows up, takes the Celestials that are still left on the Eternals that are still on the planet, because
Oh,
three of them
some
have, three of them have gone off on the ship to go find other Eternals, because they need to set them free with. I can't remember what it was that's going to set them free.
Truth. The truth.
Yeah,
the truth shall set them free.
And then they're the ones left on the planet. She comes and says, "Doesn't take Sprite." Am I right in thinking that?
I don't know.
I couldn't even see. They showed Cersei, but you couldn't really see.
Yeah, they showed Kingo.
Yeah, it did show Kingo.
Yeah.
Did it show Tech Guy?
Don't think so.
So that he's allowed to stay with his family.
Oh, Tech Guy stays on Earth.
No, but did they show him at the end?
As I
like,
said, when they drag him out, when Greg,
Yeah, I think it was her,
Cersei,
Kingo. So Cersei, Kingo, and Fastos.
Who?
Fastos.
Who's
Is
Tech
his
Guy?
name. Tech Guy.
Oh, he does get dragged off
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Earth.
I think they're
So he's
the
been
three.
taken with his family anyway.
Yeah, so the Earth team. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's been taken. He's ripped from his family. We now know he's been ripped from his family. Says something about, "I'm going to analyze your memories, and judgment will come."
Yeah.
Disappears,
Yeah.
and okay, they're gone. And
Dane Whitman
It-
scowls.
he scowls, and it ends. And then the first clip
Post-credit
after the thing is
Mid credits.
they realise that it's been a week and they haven't heard anything from them, so maybe they should turn back. Like, maybe it's just been a week, guys.
yeah, literally, maybe it's just been a tough week.
Yeah.
Coming to terms with what's their whole world has just come crumbling around
Yeah.
But they
them.
can't
their
find.
beliefs,
They can't.
everything
Well,
they know.
I think they may be tracking their life forces or
Yeah.
whatever. They can't
Some
find them.
Eternals bullshit.
They can't find them. Blah blah blah. So they'll be like, okay, we have to turn back, find out what's gone on, and you're kind of like, oh shit, they're not going to be able to do much. If they're going to do this, they're going to need some help.
Yeah, but they don't call on help, do they?
No, but I'm just thinking for as the audience member, you're thinking,
Yes. Yeah.
but this now would be a great time for them to introduce
To
a
have
character
an
that would
introduction
really
of a character.
give them that boost that they need.
Mm.
And when you hear Thanos' brother, you think, I mean, Thanos is pretty fucking powerful.
Purple, big chin.
Yeah.
Maybe his brother,
Maybe about 10
maybe
and a
his
half
brother,
feet tall.
who's probably what, like maybe a darker purple. Maybe he's got a beard,
Or red.
like maybe he's got hair. Maybe he's got like purple locks, kind of thing like that. Maybe he's like the handsome one, even though like it's still like that. So maybe he's got less of a chin thing going on. Maybe it's a beard or really. So Harry Styles shows up
Yeah.
with CGI, fucking
A
worse
CGI drunk
CGI.
leprechaun.
Yep.
Who is it?
It just is a drunk leprechaun.
Drunk Leprechaun.
So
Who is it? Is
I
it
don't
is
know.
it-
Patton Oswalt's doing the voice.
I know.
Who's that?
You know Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, name.
It's one of
Face.
them. As soon as I say it, as soon as I've said it, I can't think what he's in because I mainly know him as a stand-up. Have you seen that MODOK series on Disney Plus?
No, but I know that you're talking about. Yes, it is him, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought yes, it is him. He's the voice of the deep skills in The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah. I know. I really like him. Really like him. He actually had quite a bit of a role in Agents of Shield as well. But anyway, so he shows up as the worst CGI ever in
God, the
MCU.
CGI is so bad on that character.
Yeah.
Like considering what we've
It
seen.
looks like an old.
This is the same people that did Rocket, Groot, fucking Thanos.
Yeah.
So
Thanos
Harry
looks
Styles
real.
shows up
Yeah.
looking exactly like Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Like he's not even purple, guys. He just
Well,
Thanos' brother.
is it an adopted situation like Nebula and Gamora? Is that what it is?
I don't know,
Unclear.
but
Different pet dads maybe.
So when I looked, I went on Star Fox.
Star Fox is also a Nintendo character.
Well,
Very famous Nintendo.
Very
More
famous
famous than
Nintendo
this character.
or was it Space
Disney
Fox?
character.
I think it might be Space.
No, he's called Star Fox.
Okay.
Because I remember noting that it's Star Fox.
Okay. So anyway,
Worst only space name worse than Star Lord.
I did mean to sort of look on his Wikipedia page. I opened it up, couldn't bring myself to. I think I read he's a bit rapey, but obviously they're not going to go into that. I hope they don't. No, not Harry Styles.
No, no, I hope not.
I feel like they've just brought him in
Because he's Harry Styles. I feel like Harry Styles is so fucking handsome and charming
Yeah.
that he's walked in and gone. He's gone to a premiere because he likes Marvel. Got his way in there already. Charmed his way in there. Chatting to Feige.
Yeah.
Just like, do you know what? I really love to be in these movies. And Feige just felt like, as you probably do in the presence of Harry Styles,
Yeah.
you're already instantly in love with him.
Yeah. No, here's the
And
thing.
he's just
I've got no issue with that.
exactly.
But they've just got. I think that character. Who knows? Maybe he's great. Like the character.
It wasn't
I doubt it.
the
But
one
I
thing
feel
I've
they've just gone. Hey, Thanos. Everyone still is into him. Thanos' his brother.
Yeah,
Mm.
and looks something like him. But which is like it's my biggest qualm with it, and it shouldn't even be. There's so much more wrong with that. But one thing I will give it, and you won't disagree, is he wasn't a terrible an actor as I thought he would be. Obviously, I've just watched a movie full of atrocious acting, but he wasn't a music star doing acting. He was just not anything.
Harry Styles is alright.
Yeah, he was okay. It wasn't poor acting.
I don't particularly care that it's Harry
So,
Styles. I just-
Also, it was such a short amount of time, and he
Yeah,
only had about
it's not.
4
You can't get a
lines,
good
so-
read on it. You can't get a good
but
read on it.
also to defend the acting in this film, I just feel like you can't polish a turd.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Oh,
it was definitely down to script.
We
Yeah,
know
yeah.
we know all of these actors. We've
Yeah.
seen what
Yeah,
they can do,
yeah.
and like Liam pointed out yesterday, that once we have seen them do good acting, you can't call them a shit actor.
No.
You
when
can't-
they
you
do
can't
something
take that
bad.
away
You
from
can't
them.
take
No, they've
away
done
their
good
good
acting.
acting. Yeah,
No.
we've seen it. We know
Yeah.
all of them. But
But they were given nothing.
Richard
Yeah.
Madden literally plays the straightest character he's ever played in Bodyguard, and it's fucking fantastic. He's wooden in this. Like it just Kit Harington, Jon fucking Snow. He's just
like one of the
he's-
standouts for Game of Thrones, which has standout
yeah.
actors.
Yeah.
And you're just like, but in this, he's in it for 10 minutes and
He's
wasted and
literally
terrible.
a student film.
So it's not
character.
his.
He's a
fault.
character from a student film. Yeah. So so he shows up, and I'm going to help you get your friends back. So,
And also,
okay.
it's very much like played all for laughs, and
No, there's nothing serious or like.
I'm just
anything
going to
about
say
the
this
scene.
right
It's
now.
super-
The post-credit scenes haven't been good since the end of Phase 1, early Phase 2.
I mean, I can't picture. I mean, like the only one I can remember is the Winter Soldier one was good with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch in the lab.
Yep.
Um,
Early Phase 2.
Thor Hammer was good.
that was
I mean,
phase one.
Phase 1. That's when it was like, oh snap! Like they're gonna just do a little teaser,
Yeah.
but you know what to expect, and you're just like,
Leading on to a plan.
yeah, it felt like everything had a plan, and you were just like, right, we're let in to the tiniest snippet,
Yeah.
but mouth-watering snippet of what is to come.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of it hits the nail on the head of where they're at the moment for a
Yeah.
post-credit scene, and it's just like
Thanos' brother.
Thanos' brother, Harry Styles.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right, okay.
Second.
That doesn't make me interested in the Eternals 2,
No.
like even slightly.
No.
Then the second clip,
Mm.
which you sit through the entire credits for, hoping Spider-Man's next.
Mm.
So you're expecting something.
And it doesn't have to be directly linked, but it would be.
I
would have
feel
been
like it
nice
does. I
to-
feel like
to have
if you
something.
with the whole point with these two clips, I want one to do with the movie and one to do with what's coming. They haven't done that in a while, but Spider-Man's next, so something. Other than no, it's. Oh, to be fair though, it's a clip
is
to
to
do
be-
with one of the greatest Marvel characters ever written.
Yeah.
Like,
Dane Whitman.
Is literally
Black Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of which I've still no. I mean,
No, we were.
there's intrigue because I have no idea about. There seems to be a darkness involved, but I'm a bit like okay. And then you, as you said, hear Blade's voice.
You hear Blade's voice, and honestly,
Why Blade though?
I know.
Well,
There's
are
so
they
much
timed?
going around with Blade because it's in the MCU, and it's probably not going to have an R rating, and that is probably one of the worst decisions
Yeah,
they can make.
100%.
There's not going to be any blood in a vampire movie. No biting of the neck. No.
Blade. There might be some biting of the neck, but there's not going to
No.
be blood coming with that.
No, it can't be.
And there's
Can't
not
be
gonna be-
PG 13, 12A if there is.
No, and
So-
well, I mean, Blade, right? No one gave a fuck about the character of Blade
No.
until Blade the movie, right?
Obviously,
And like that's a character who became iconic with a scene where he interrupts a rave where blood
Oh.
is falling from the ceiling.
Beautiful
they see-
scene.
Yeah.
There'll be
Literally
nothing
such a
like
good
that.
scene.
No. And here's the thing, that Mersh. Oh god, I don't want to fuck his name up. The guy they've got playing him. Is it Mahershala Ali? Really great actor. Yeah, excellent actor. And so when it was announced, I was like, oh, awesome. Then I was like, wait, an MCU Blade movie? That's not gonna work. And then
Which is
like,
the same with Deadpool. He's been confirmed by MCU. How's that going to work?
No, they're
I mean-
I think they're going to make him R rated.
So there are going to be R-rated MCU movies, but they're just still not going to.
but
do
like,
it.
it's but,
Yeah, they're still not going to do it.
But Deadpool's not really going to be MCU, is it? It's going to be MCU in that there's MCU characters, but the whole thing of like breaking the fourth wall and
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like you wouldn't
Yeah.
say that Deadpool before the Disney merger was X-Men movies, would you?
No, yeah, right.
But like, you know, that,
Again, they didn't show it.
no, and also like, so I guess because Blade has a sword.
Yeah. What is the
And-
connection?
But no. But here's the thing: unless you Google it, and unless it literally told me on Twitter, which it did. You know, I saw another spoiler. Didn't really care because I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, it's just Eternals.
Yeah,
Everyone was like, "Oh, that is Blade's voice you hear at the end." And I was like, "Blade's voice you hear at the end. He's just in the room with him, and you don't see him
no.
fail."
So Blade is also a museum scientist.
Yeah, he obviously has the same job as Cersei.
Yeah,
It just capped it off. It just capped it off where it was just disappointing, missed opportunity.
Do you feel that
ridiculousness?
Do you feel they like changed it at last minute to be played?
I feel like they probably didn't have a clue what to do.
Yeah.
They were just like, we got this scene with Kit Harington
Yeah.
that we should probably just put in the movie.
Yeah.
Could have just put it in the movie.
They're like, Kit, react to something. And he
Yeah.
went,
Yeah.
and
They just got that, and then they were just like, right, it could be Dr. Octopus, or it could be Blade,
Yeah.
or I don't know, just like a really rubbery hand comes and taps him on the shoulder, and
they're
it's
like,
Reed
okay,
Richards.
I'm just spitballing. So, it could be, I don't know, Blade. Obviously not Blade, but like something like Blade. It won't be Blade. Obviously not Blade.
We've already shot the scene. It's Blade.
Yeah.
Stick it on the end of the movie.
They've already got Mahershala Ali. I think that's his name.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, okay. I feel like he's butcher everyone's name. But anywho, great actor. I feel like they'd already got him to record a voice note.
A voice note,
yeah.
just on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Just like we're going to put you in this $200 million budget movie.
Yeah.
Do you mind sending us a 14 kilobyte voice note that sounds really rough?
Yeah.
That we could just like tag it on at the end of the movie. Oh yeah, sure, why not? Yeah. Am I going to be in it? No. Why would you be in it?
Yeah.
No.
It's like
Your film's not until about 2025. But we have to build it up now with such a disappointing teaser. Couldn't do a good one because we haven't done a good one in years. So we've forgotten how to.
your
Last
character's
time it was
called
done was
Blade.
Venom.
I mean, it's not technically MCU,
Exactly.
I guess.
No,
so-
it is
No, that's
MCU
what I
now.
mean.
yeah, it is now
No, but
because of what happened in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
you say that was a
Sony-
good one, but again,
Sony
it was.
I mean, it was a good one.
yeah.
It was a good one. You can't take that away from it. But yeah.
Well, I mean, it's I don't. Yeah, I'm very fucked Venom.
What?
I'm not down with Venom.
No.
Nah.
It's fine. You don't have to.
Oh yeah, you weren't even on the podcast. Sorry,
No.
I thought
It's
you were.
very hit and miss.
I was like, this is the first time I'm hearing of this.
No, yeah.
Yeah, we did
I
a
was,
2-hour podcast.
I was sat in the corner refusing to be involved.
That was funny.
No, but Venom's been very much Marmite for people.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Right, let's just get on to the rating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're now 3 hours deep.
well, to be fair, some of that is going to be dead air.
Oh, no. Yeah. But no, it's fine.
Okay.
So let's get to the rating.
Yeah.
Out of
Rocks to the Head.
Yeah.
Lovely. That was the quickest one we've ever had a debate on. Lovely. So out of 5 skull smashing Rocks to the Head, how many out of 5, Joe, would you give Eternals?
Right now, if this film,
Right. Okay. Let me
if
just
this
clarify.
film was just Rocks to the Head,
Right. Can I just clarify?
Yeah.
You can't give a 0.
okay.
Right, that was what I needed to ask him.
So right, the actual Rock to the Head moment,
Yep.
6 out of 5. The actual film, 1.5.
That's very generous.
Very generous.
Really?
Yeah, 1.5.
incredibly.
I don't know, man.
That's
Like,
not too much more than I'd probably give a review of Shang-Chi, which
Yeah.
I'd probably give a 1.5.
I'd give it 2 still.
Maybe 2. Probably 1.5
But
if
yeah.
I was going back on it.
Yeah, no, okay, no, that's what you think. though.
But I understand. I understand your 6. That's a very funny moment.
Is it? Am I
Um,
right in thinking that does it get some bonus points for the diversity aspect?
I don't know. I think it's more that like visually, there's moments which are really lovely.
Okay.
I feel
Visually, is I mean, it's a very late in the day to say that some of the cinematography is amazing.
yeah.
But a lot of it is ruined by terrible CGI of what's going on in the shot.
No, you're not wrong. I think there's just moments and little ideas in it that sort of grab me, and like also it's just like I mean, when I say grab me, I mean go, oh, do you know what I mean?
I like this. I like this. You said it earlier. I like this. Breaking it down to its concepts,
Yeah.
rather than how it was executed.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to.
No, you
No,
shouldn't.
We're
no,
reviewing
no.
a film.
No,
But-
but like it's not like so.
Yeah,
while
I
was watching
agree with
this-
that, though, yeah.
While I was watching this, I wasn't just sort of like It was like a
Oh, I very much was. from the
What?
off. I like
Oh, you know what I mean.
when I leaned to you 15 minutes in and said this is a chore. It never stopped from there.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I don't really think I found this a chore because I was just sort of because to me
I
it was like astoundingly bad, and I would rather watch something astounding. Here's the thing, like Shang-Chi.
You'd rather both. You'd rather both spectrums. You'd rather it astoundingly bad or like excellent.
Yeah,
It's the dip in the middle
yeah.
that you're just like
So,
Well, here's the
so
thing.
the
Shang-Chi,
pit of mediocrity.
Shang-Chi, I sat through it thinking, do I like this? You'd prefer knowing you didn't, knowing you do, rather than sitting there going,
Yeah, well,
is this good?
but here's the thing. Like, I would.
Is this
give,
good?
You know, I'd give Shang-Chi more, really, than this. Like, I'd say that's.
Oh, yeah,
two
okay,
or two
okay.
out of five.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Okay.
I preferred watching this because it was more of like an experience as opposed to Shang-Chi, where I was just sort of like, none.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'm complete opposite.
Sam, what are you giving this out of 5 ferociously hard rocks to the head?
So I'm glad you clarified that 0 is not an option. Because I was thinking
Oh,
about this
my
on the
word.
way over. Generally, yeah, if it was, it would get a 0. It's possibly the worst movie I've ever seen. It's the only movie ever driven me to the point where I want to walk out the cinema.
Sam, we broke Sam. I think
This
movie broke
this
Sam.
movie broke me.
Sam is very very much in the community well known for being the most optimistic
Yeah.
of the group, of the regular group.
Yeah.
And for it to break Sam is not only monumental, a moment I didn't think would ever come,
No.
where Sam is broken by an MCU movie
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah.
It's like killed by what you love is like is what is happening in
I feel
front
like
of
it
our
was
very
always.
eyes.
I feel it was always meant
It's like
to
watching
gonna happen.
Angel
Isn't it?
Fall.
Yes, it is very much watching an angel fall. It's been an enjoyable experience because I never thought it was
Not
going to come.
the-
you know, when you're just like, I didn't expect
That's
it
not
to
the.
happen,
That's
so-
not genuinely not the first time I've been compared to an angel today.
nice.
Um,
You know what this is like for me? I feel like I'm Jesse in Toy Story 3.
Right.
And they're in the.
What, you got
they're in
nothing
the
to do?
They're in the incinerator,
Okay.
and I look over to Buzz,
Yep.
and I'm like, Buzz, what are we gonna do? And he just puts his hand out because he's just gonna accept. He's just take my hand. Let's just accept this. That's how I feel, seeing how much Sam hates this film.
It's a weird experience.
so
Go on, Sam. Go on,
if
Sam.
it's not obvious already, 1 because I can't give it any lower.
No, you can. You could give it a 0.5 because we do in increments of 0.5. But
Oh, all right, okay.
I'd probably okay. No,
Okay.
no, you give it what you want.
Well, no, I wanted to give it a 0, and you can't give it a 0, so I'll 0.5.
Wow.
The lowest possible score I can give it, that's what it gets.
And it's the lowest score ever. on
Ever,
this
yeah,
podcast
yeah.
By Sam.
Yeah.
Lowest score we've ever given.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't heard yours yet, but yeah.
Well, it's not gonna raise its median up to
Yeah, exactly.
up to a 4.5.
So the same or 1. Yeah, so 0.5 because it's just
Oh man.
I didn't enjoy myself. I haven't sat that. I wasn't annoyed. It'd be ridiculous to get annoyed over a film. It's a film. But I was literally, the amount of times you see me just toss my head back when they said something.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in the cinema. I haven't been that, like,
Emotive.
emotive.
Negatively emotive.
Yeah, exactly. In a cinema ever, I think. Normally, if I don't like something, it's a bit like, oh okay.
Yeah.
It was honestly a chore from the off,
Right.
and it was. I can't think of many redeeming. One of the main redeeming features is the diversity aspect to it, and that's fine. And I'm sure there's going to be people, and I've spoken to people that thought it was okay. I respect your opinion. It's a movie. You're allowed your opinion in this, but you're kind of wrong, maybe. It's just absolute bollocks. It's just honestly bollocks.
This is like Spider-Man in his black suit.
It is.
Yeah.
It's exactly that.
You know what?
Spider-Man
This-
month coming up in December.
Yeah.
December 1st.
This Sam that you see before you. If he went back in time and saw that, he would like batter the Sam that gave Shang-Chi 3.5.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Longer hair Samurai Sam.
Yeah.
Would definitely batter 3 months ago, giving Shang-Chi probably over a 3.
Yeah.
It would whip his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
He's become more powerful now.
He has.
Or broken.
Yeah, more
Which
more powerful
some might argue
than broken.
is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets a fucking low as I possibly can. 0.5.
Fucking
Liam.
what?
So Liam,
What did you give it, Joe? Sorry,
I
gave it a 1.5. Yeah,
1.5.
Sorry, and I'm gonna go. Almost non-controversially at this point. I'm gonna go midway and give it a 1.
Okay.
I feel like there was enough of it looking good, and there was. Cool. I think for me to give something a 0.5, it would have to barely be a movie.
yeah. So this,
No, it is. Like,
So it's more. I'm not going to do it because let's not start slicing it even thinner. But it's like a 0.85. So, but it's. But I cannot.
strip that from the record.
Yeah, but literally just like scratch that tape. I
Yeah.
want that deleted.
Yeah.
But it's. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so incrementally higher than a 0.5 for me, just because visually some stunning stuff.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
I can't think of it.
It has to just be absolute nonsense. And
So this.
I know. You're trying to drag me down to 0.5.
I'm not. It's just the two things you just said it would have to be. It is.
No, I mean like an honest.
Also,
I like some of the
also,
sets from
and I
the
know
olden
you
days.
guys are more analytical. with
Sorry,
this.
what?
I like some of the sets from the olden days, like the Babylon set.
Actually, yeah. Some of the action was actually pretty good.
Oh no, I didn't like the action. Sorry, I didn't like the action.
Just
I
the
liked-
sets?
Yeah, I like the production
The
design.
art style.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with this.
Just to.
So I'm
you-
sticking with
I know
my
you
one.
guys are more. That's fine. You guys are more analytical than I am, but so you're better at spotting this sort of thing. You keep going on about how good it was visually. I genuinely can't picture anything in my head that was like where I thought, amazing. Like it was. It's just. But to be honest, I think
Is that because we've been spoilt by IMAX?
I don't know if it's spoiled by IMAX. I feel like
'Cause
maybe
we didn't see it
I
in
feel
IMAX.
like I feel like I have two settings, and it's either like I'm happy to accept this,
Yeah.
and it's hard to undo. But once it's undone, it's like everything that happens now I hate. I
Right.
just feel like
Actually,
that's
do you know
what
what? Because this is just our show, and we can do what we want. I'm just going to go back to down to 0.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, he's got a point.
the two things
Yeah.
you said it would have to be. It is. You're like for me
Yeah.
to do a 2.5, it'd have to be this. Okay, but that's what this is.
honestly, yeah.
For it to be 2.5 though, it would have to be this. Well, it's that too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, he's pointed out a flaw.
Okay.
And I am in the wrong, and it is a 0.5 out of 5. Killing blows to the head.
Yeah.
But shake them off because your name is Sprite. And
So-
I mean, this leaves the MCU in honestly for me in a bit of disarray. Because Spider-Man is its own. I know it's within the MCU, but Spider-Man, not unfortunately, but in some ways, is kind of too big to fail.
Yeah.
He is like the biggest superhero.
Yeah.
Just by country miles from what I've seen recently.
Yeah.
And even if they do fuck it up,
Yep.
there is no way. Now I say this very cautiously.
Also,
There
at
is
the end
no
of the
way
film-
that they can fuck it up as bad as this.
Do you mean
You did
in
also
terms of
announce
quality of
it- you
film
did
or in
also
terms of
say-
success? 'Cause this is
Uh,
a huge film. Like so's Shang-Chi, like financially.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it's gonna blow those fucking out of the water.
Oh,
Spider-Man.
right. Oh, so you just,
By
mean
far.
you just mean in terms of
Yeah, in quality.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But
And here's the thing, I'm just like,
I
it's
think they
Spider-Man,
could-
even though it's in the MCU, because it's so big, is self-contained. This is not. This relies on the MCU, just like Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
just like Black Widow, and all those films were garbage.
You did announce yesterday that the MCU is dead after watching this.
I as soon as the credits
If
finished,
they
the lights went
somehow-
up, and I just went, the MCU.
if they
is dead.
somehow
Yeah, yeah.
fuck Spider-Man,
the MCU,
the MCU is dead before we even get to multiverse.
And there's a big gap between them now because they've delayed Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
It's like a 6 months period where there's no film.
For
There was
everyone-
going to be three.
for
There's going
everyone
to be a
to realise-
3 month gap between them. Now there's 6.
for everyone
mean,
to realise
that's-
that
That's
Marvel's
probably for the
bollocks.
best.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'll probably leave this Spider-Man on a cliffhanger leading into that
Right.
because obviously it's the next
Yeah.
film and
Right.
Strange is in.
There's some shows and stuff in between as well.
So you're just a bit like,
Oh, don't worry, you're never gonna lack fame.
I know, but I'm just like, when they take that break, are we going to be like the MCU is fucked,
Right.
or are we going to be like, right, next films? I'm looking forward to like seeing what they do. Sam Raimi doing a horror Doctor Strange film, like
Which I've been looking
that's gonna
forward
be
to
quite
since they announced.
interesting.
Yeah,
That sounds
yeah.
pretty good. Huh?
So
As
am I
long
going to
as-
be like
no.
that? Am I going to be like it's
No, but
that's
it's-
interesting?
This is the thing. As
Or-
long as it is a horror and not a horror in the way that Black Widow's a spy movie.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be
Yeah.
that,
well, it's
but
Disney, so
I mean, the thing is as well, and also there's only so much horror you can do when the character is like like the protagonist is an all-powerful wizard. There's only so much sort of fear you can be like, oh,
I'm going to leave you with,
I'll
I'll leave you with this one.
but like, well, it's also Sam Raimi. who's
Right,
like-
go
I
on,
mean,
Sam.
quite a
I'm
good
not-
sign off.
No, I've got a good sign off. This definitely. I mean, I've said the MCU's dead. That's a bit too presumptuous.
Yeah.
Because obviously it will go on. But after this, my hope for the MCU
yeah.
definitely does not spring eternal.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I think the truth is we've just flown too close to the sun on wings made of wax.
And then just flown straight in.
Yeah. Also, guys, No Man Land is very good. I just want to make that very clear.